So that shuts that off. So you have to have your ears on to hear us in there. You won't be able to hear us at all. Whoop, let me try that one. Good evening, everybody. Turn some of that down. Welcome to the Joxx KTC Broadcasting live stream watch party, the NFL Draft watch party. We're up here in the KTC Broadcasting Studios getting ready for tonight's draft, and we've got a variety of fans in the house tonight. We're going to may have a call-in or two. If you're watching and listening on Facebook tonight, and you want to give us a call and everything, get in touch with one of the guys sitting here, and if you're one of their friends on Facebook, we can call on Facebook on mine or Google or however you guys want. Skype, we've got that hooked up too. If any of you folks want to call in, we'll be more than happy to have you join us. Will and Robbie, can you hear me in there?
Absolutely.
Okay, I want to make sure we can hear you. Tom, can you hear them?
I cannot.
Hold on. Tom, can you hear them?
Can you hear us now, Tom?
Talk, guys.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
Not hear them.
Tom,
He can't hear because he's a bulldog.
No, he don't like real fake.
Tom, I tell you what, Tom. I can hear them. I can hear them pretty good. It's going to be faint. They're not going to be as loud as us. We're kind of monitoring them.
They're really, really fake.
Hey, you guys, give me some heads up in there. What's up, Packers?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Go, Pack, go.
All right, and fly Eagles, fly over there in the corner. Is that what's going on?
EAGLES,
Is
Eagles.
that all right. Well, Tom, you're getting split in this one right here. We'll find you in just a second. Let's kind of go over a little bit what's going on tonight. Want to pull up the What's Up Shopper, brought to you by What'sUpShopper.com, folks. We're moving over to all online here on the What's Up Shopper, and I want to give you folks a quick look at the website of what's going on right now. So with everything going on and everything, paper's out and not good for the folks apparently, and all this other stuff. Hunter, sit over here tonight. We're gonna social distance a little bit. Try that. Let's go in that one. And I got you. Yeah, I got you set up, and then you can use that computer to play around on. Hunter
So
Yancey,
Dead Skin walked in the door.
Dead Skin did walk in the door, and I got to get the camera turned. Hunter, grab your NC State Wolfpack camera there, and that's all you, Bubba. There he is. Sipo, Will. That's Sipo.
Who?
Sipo. That's Clinton Portis. You don't know who Clinton Portis is?
Who he got on right now?
Yeah, ain't that Clinton Portis?
No, sir.
No.
That's
What
a Peterson.
It's AP.
Oh, Peterson was 26.
That's
in
AD
Washington?
all day.
AP.
I was looking for the 28.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do a survey right quick.
All right.
If your team has won a Super Bowl in the last 2 years, raise your hand. Hey, I win. All right, on with the show, guys. On with the show.
Let's do another survey right quick while we're doing surveys. If your team's a 13-time world champion, let's raise your hand. Hey, we go right
Now,
here.
if you get to count that one, Browns get to count theirs. So,
Actually, from the area.
Where you are a fan, raise your hand. Yeah, right here. Right here.
wait a minute. So, yeah, I guess Tom gets the I live the closest to my team at some point in my life
At
award.
some point in my life.
Award. Yeah, I guess you were born in that area, right?
I was.
So Tom wearing his Browns gear. Is that a Jim Brown?
This is a Jim Brown which came from a selling app. I scour those selling apps all the time and find myself some good low-priced jerseys.
Is that
Cheapskate.
is-
No, I didn't say. I didn't say
I
that.
have to be. I have to be. I'm a school teacher.
I did.
That has nothing to do with it. I have a school teacher in my house. I seen her paycheck, so I know
That's
what
right.
yours
You've
is.
seen the paycheck, so you know.
It's exactly right.
It's hard to stretch it.
did you guys have they retired the number 4 Brown, or do the Browns have retired numbers? Some teams don't retire
Believe
numbers
they
because
do,
you have
yeah.
so many
I think-
players.
Think if you're in
Cowboys
the
don't
ring up
retire.
there, yeah, I want to say they do because nobody's wore 32 for the Browns ever.
Right. I was just
But that
wondering-
may be out of respect type thing.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure they're retired.
there have been multiple 88s in Dallas. There hasn't been. There's only been 2 22s that I know of. Of course, Bullet Bob Hayes.
They've retired. The Browns have
And Emmitt
retired
Smith?
5. Yeah, they've retired 5 number. Ernie Davis, Don Fleming, Autogram Jim Brown, and Lou Groza.
Lou Groza.
Lou the Toe.
Here are things saying no service over here, so we're getting used to that. Hunter,
Yes.
we've got the NFL draft tonight. Picking first is the Bengals, who were, I was just listening a little while before the start of the show, that they've pretty much already had him into town, and so Burrows, we're looking at going to the Bengals number 1. So I'm glad you got here just in time. It's going to be pretty much the Hunter Yancey show for the next little bit here coming up, getting ready for this Redskins pick. Is it
What-
Chase Young or bust, or is there anything else that you would be happy that the Redskins did besides just that?
No. I wouldn't be happy with anything else that Washington does if they don't go the route of Chase Young. And it's mostly because we're sitting there at the 2 spot. And we've already been in conversations with the teams that you guys are representing on moving Trent Williams. And I'm not going to be for a first-round pick. It's going to be probably for either a second or a third-round pick that we can get for him, and maybe a future pick at the same time. So a lot of people would probably say, if you're losing Trent, why would you not take the best offensive lineman available? I'm like, well, why would I pass up when there's, it's an offensive line heavy draft, and I could get the best edge rusher maybe coming out in the past 10 to 15 years? I could do both.
I agree.
I could do both. I could get Chase Young sitting there at 2, who is arguably the best player that has come out in the last 5 to 10 years, and also is the best player in the draft. I know he's not going number 1, but everybody's got him rated as the best player in the draft, so we get a bona fide starter, and we can fill the hole of Trent Williams if we do end up agreeing with the trade with the Browns with whatever pick we get later, because it's such a deep offensive lineman draft. So to me, it's really Chase Young or I riot and I become a Buffalo Bills fan and just exile myself up to the Northeast. But it's really that, because if we go the route of a young quarterback maybe in Tua, and I've, as much as we've done this podcast, I've expressed my concerns with Tua and especially his health and his size. But another reason is we don't need 3 young quarterbacks in a quarterback room. Dwayne Haskins would only be in his second year. Kyle Allen would be technically in his second year if you could count about the games that he's played.
Does Rivera secretly love Kyle Allen or
He
like
might.
Kyle Allen? Or
He might.
I mean, what you know what I mean?
He might. I know he brought him in there specifically because he knows the offense under Scott Turner, our offensive coordinator, and he can help Dwayne learn the offense and kind of push him. And I think that's a good, person for him to have a quarterback battle with in training camp. It's not somebody that's just going to come in there and beat him out from the get-go. It's going to be good competition between the two. So I think that's something that's great. But the reason why I really don't want Tua in there is because say we do draft Tua and Dwayne takes a huge leap this year in the offseason. Well, then we just wasted the number 2 pick. And you could say, oh, well, he's then tradable. You can trade him to some team for either a high draft pick coming up, or you can try and get a player out of him. And I'm sitting here thinking, but then that was still a waste of the number 2
Kevin.
pick when we could have had Chase Young. That was just a waste.
Yeah, my
So,
thing
to
is,
me,
guys,
it's almost unquestionable that Chase Young is the route we go when we're talking about
I can't
Washington
tell.
at number 2. That's just how it has to go. I want a starter, and I want someone that's going to
Doesn't feel
come
like
in
you got it.
and make everybody else's life in the NFC East hell. That's just what I
Doesn't
want.
feel
That's
like
how I
it.
want.
But Hunter, my question is this: and I agree with you, Chase Young. To me, there's justification for the Bengals to take Chase Young number one.
You had it there.
And so, to me, if you're the Redskins, if you draft a guy like Tua, you're already saying we screwed up with Dwayne Haskins, and we don't know that yet. What capability is there for that young man? You're under a new regime. I think you go with those two young quarterbacks. I'm like you. I think, to me, of all the guys in this draft, Chase Young is the can't miss guy. I mean, I think the Bengals can miss on Burrow before the Redskins miss on Chase Young. That's for sure.
I agree with that statement 100%. To me, I just don't want to see a waste come to this number 2 pick, because I know a lot of teams, when you usually get the number 2 pick, that's basically throwing salt in the wound of saying you're just a bad team. But that's also a stepping stone for you to be a better team, because you get one of the top players in the draft, if not the best available, like we have the opportunity to do now. Joe Burrow, I think he is worthy of the number 1 pick.
Right.
For the Bengals, if that's what they need. And even if, and I've been on record for saying if they took Chase Young at 1, I would want Joe Burrow at 2, just because I think he can be a difference maker in the league. But like you said, I can't throw the book out on Dwayne yet. Dwayne only had like 5 true starts. I can't throw the book out on Dwayne. The jury is not out. I have to see more from Dwayne, and I have to see what this team can do as a whole, because I feel like if we can get the defense solidified underneath Jack Del Rio for this 4-3 defense, that's going to be his baby. If he drafts Chase Young, that's the heart and soul of this 4-3 defense. He's going to bring blitzes up for that man every weekend. And even when you bring him in right now as a rookie, Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, whenever they're in their meetings before they play the Washington Redskins on Sunday, they're going to be like, hey, whatever number Chase Young takes, right now I'm just going to say 2. Watch out for 2 now. But let's not forget, we took Montez Sweat last year with a 2nd pick in the 1st round we traded up for. He ran a 4.4 at 6'8" as a defensive end. They had him playing a drop back outside linebacker in a 3.4 last year. Now you're telling me we've got Chase Young on one side, Montez Sweat on the other, and the Bama boys in the middle at DT? Oh, come on now. I mean, to me, that's probably the most hellacious front 4 in football. So I love to go the Chase Young route. If we go any other route, I've told all my buddies this. I'm like, hey, just call me Buffalo Hunter. All right, I'm a Bills fan because I love Josh Allen, so I might as well roll with him. I'll just call me Buffalo Hunter. That's just me.
That's a bit of a bold statement.
It's a bold statement, but if it happens, because look, how many times can I sit here, and you've probably been in the same spot too with the Browns. They call Washington the NFC version of the Browns. How many more times can I sit here and just be?
Let's be honest. There's a reason we're constantly talking about the Redskins with one of the top 10 picks.
Yeah. How much more can I just continue to want to watch them lose? You know, and if they don't go in this route, to me, for Chase Young, and it does play out to where Dwayne makes a leap and they take Tua, and Tua's not even going to be able to play, I'm like, well, you just wasted the opportunity to have a cornerstone of this franchise.
Yeah, they're not going to take Tua.
No, trust me, I don't think they're going to take Tua. I think we're 100% in on Chase Young, and I believe the future's bright underneath Ron Rivera and his coaching staff. I think it really is. So, but next year, I'm fully prepared for us to maybe win another 2 games. So if we win 4 games next year, I'm fine with that. As long as Dwayne shows an improvement, I'm fine with that.
I think you put the pieces together pretty good, though. I mean, the defensive scheme, the coach.
I think so too.
The quality of the player.
I
mean,
think
it just
so
all
too.
makes too much sense. It makes too much sense not to.
Yeah, it makes too much sense not to go the Chase Young route. I know this is obviously just a countdown really to Washington picks but to me, even in all the mock drafts, even any mock draft that I would have brought up, 1 and 2 is set. The draft starts at 3.
The draft starts at 3. I agree.
The draft starts at 3. Whatever happens at 3, then it all goes loose. Think of this. I made a mock draft last night. I did it on a notepad on a computer. I totally forgot to send myself the file. I would have had it in here. I'd have went down. Now it looks a lot different.
How good's your memory?
I can tell you what I had at 3. I had Miami trading with the Detroit for Tua.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying
I don't know why
that.
that.
A lot of people are saying he's going to slide. They think that his health issues are going to be.
Well, we've
this
said
style
it
of
multiple
play.
times on this podcast, me and Kevin. I don't think anybody should trade up for Tua
No.
unless you're sold on him.
Right.
I think you let him fall to you.
If I'm the Dolphins, and I agree with you, Hunter, guys, the draft is going to start, like we said, at 3. The Giants went out of the 4 spots so bad they can't stand it.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Dolphins, you're sitting there, 3 picks in the first round. Jameis Winston is still sitting out there.
I agree.
If you can, to me, if I'm the Dolphins, I trade down for more picks because I have so many needs, and I can fill that quarterback spot with Jameis Winston, who's not a washed-up quarterback. He had a pretty good year last year in Tampa Bay. You just you just got rid of him for the GOAT, so you can't blame Tampa for doing that.
Right.
But I think he's a definite consideration. If I'm the Dolphins, he can come in, take care of my quarterback spot, and I can fill a whole lot of needs in this draft.
Oh, yeah, you can fill a lot of needs in this draft. To me, I was just, I had seen so many reports and so many rumors that the Dolphins might be trading up for 3 because they had been in contact with the general manager for the Lions that in my mock draft, I was like, yeah, you know what? If it happens, it happens. How I did my mock draft, it's not who I thought they were going to take. My mock draft, I went by need. Outside of the top 2, I went by need because the top 2 are basically cemented. It's going to be Joe Burrow, it's going to be Chase Young. But other than that, it was like try and fill need. I got so many defensive backs going in this first round for teams that just need it.
Right.
I guarantee you that won't be that way. I know I had Green Bay in there for a run stopper so the 49ers don't gash you again. So, I mean, maybe. We'll see about that. I mean, I don't know. There were a lot of things that I had when I look at other
Washington.
mock drafts
Washington.
that don't happen.
When you live in a glass house, you shouldn't throw rocks, okay?
I'm just saying,
I'm
man.
just saying.
I'm just saying, 500 yards on you twice,
But
combined twice.
But I think you did right there where you look, what do you need? Because if you draft a guy in the first round, you want him to have an immediate impact
You do.
on your football team.
You do.
So you're going to draft what you need. So, yeah, if you need a defensive back, they're going to start. I mean, if you draft a running back, they're going to start.
Yeah.
I think that they are predicting there will not be a running back taken in the first round. That's the prediction.
I think I had one taken by Jacksonville on their later pick that they got for trading Jalen Ramsey to the Rams. So it was
Because-
originally the Rams pick because they're trying to move off Fournette.
Fournette.
And I had them taking DeAndre Swift out of Georgia because he's the best running back
Late
available.
first round.
Late
Late
first
first
round.
round.
It's like in the pick 20s. Could it
Right.
happen? Maybe. I'm not sure about that, though. And I had a lot of offensive linemen, too. I had to even look at some that were graded to go in the second or third round. I'm like, well, if the team needs it, I just take him in the first round. Because if it's a bona fide starter, he's a bona fide starter. Wide receivers are going to go left and right in this draft.
I was about to say, Hunter, when you see that first wide receiver come off the board, it's going to be boom, 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 boom.
Dominoes.
Wide receivers are going to start
Dominoes.
falling
Yeah.
like nothing. So.
Absolutely. Because to me, there are, of course, the 2 standouts. There's Jerry Jeudy, and everybody loves CeeDee Lamb. I think Henry Ruggs is going to rise. I think Ruggs might be the 3rd wide receiver taken in this draft. I think Justin Jefferson is going to be a name to watch as well out of LSU. They've really talked about him going in the second round, but if it's a team that's got a need, I mean, he was the best receiver on a national championship LSU team. Like, why would you not? And he went out there and proved that he can run a quick 40. I think he ran like a 4.4. So, I mean, he's got the feet and he's got great hands. I could see him going. The Laviska kid out of Colorado is going to be a name to watch as well at wide receivers.
I can tell you that the
100%.
Eagles love that kid.
The Eagles love
the Eagles
Laviska.
love him. I don't know if I will celebrate as an Eagle fan taking him at that 21st spot. I don't know if he's. I would much rather see the Eagles move up and get one of those 4 that we mentioned. But from what I've read, they love that kid. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you need a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
You do.
Well, that's
Need
what I
a
was
wide
going to ask you. What do you need the most?
A wide receiver's got to be number 1.
Wide receivers got to be
has
number
to
one.
be.
Has to be number 1. Well, I mean, I believe that's what it's going to be. I think wide receiver for Philadelphia. I
At
can
number
see-
2, you have no choice but to go Chase Young.
Oh, no, we have no.
You really have
The
no
Bengals
choice.
are on the clock. The Bengals are on the clock.
Yep, officially on the clock are the Cincinnati Bengals. And I saw somebody, I think it was either on Twitter or Facebook, it was like, come on, Cincinnati. We know what you're doing. Don't take the clock to 0. Just put it in like the next 30 seconds and take Joe Burrow already. I think that's what they should do. Like, let's not drag this out because we know there's going to be multiple trades as soon as pick 3 hits. I did read Atlanta was really pressing Washington to try and get that second pick. I don't know how much they were offering. I don't know if they were offering us the house but we stood still and said we are not moving off this second pick. We're showing Joe Burrow right now.
Surely they're not going to take 10 minutes to make this.
I mean,
That's
really.
what I'm saying. You
Why is it
can't
gonna
let
take
this
so
go
long?
down to 0.
These 2 picks should come out, bam, bam. Then now the next pick would be the one that the third pick.
Yeah, the
again.
third pick will take a minute. I agree. But I heard somewhere that a lot of these teams, when it gets closer and closer to draft day, the phone calls start becoming a little bit longer, and they try and start working deals out prior to draft day so that when it happens, they can agree upon it, and the other team can just roll right in with who they want. So there might already be a trade in place for the number 3 pick. It's just going to come down to who wants it. I don't know if – I'll tell you who will be a key player to watch for possibly moving up for this 3rd pick, and it depends on if they start hearing chatter about the team in front of them. Watch for the Chargers. I don't know if they're sold on Tyrod. I know he's like their stopgap. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved up.
Got a relationship with the coach.
Yeah, they were in Buffalo together. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers maybe hear a little bit of chatter. Maybe Miami's trying to jump forward, and they're like, we can't let that happen because they might take the quarterback that we want. So maybe they jump forward to 3.
It's a gamble.
I don't know.
It's a gamble. Take
It is a
2 or
gamble.
3.
Do the Panthers? I know we're here in North Carolina. Do the Panthers try and move up to either 3
No,
or 4?
because that man was going to fall to 7.
You think Simmons falls to
He
7?
falls to 7.
A lot of people are putting Herbert in front of
Tua.
Tua on the board.
I think Tua's going to fall every bit, just because this is such a concern for his health.
Are we, and thinking about him, guys, are we looking at another RG3 situation?
With
Where-
Tua,
yeah, with Tua. You really like his skills, but are you willing to take the chance on those injuries? Especially because you've not really done your normal amount of workouts, things like that. Are you willing to take that chance? Would be my question.
Well, whoever pick up Tua, they already know coming in. He's a year out from playing.
to me,
He's not going to come in and start.
This
right
I don't
now.
know. I don't know if that's true, Will. I don't know if
they
somebody's not
might,
gonna play him.
there'll be a dumb team out there that's gonna be like, we
Yeah.
got to play him.
Yeah.
And picking up top, they'll be like, we got to pick him. I don't necessarily. I think the RG3 situation scared people away from doing this. Washington, we gave the house up to try
Right.
and trade up to get RG3, and then he wound up getting injured. I don't think anybody really is in they might love Tua, but not enough to where they just want to give up the house and go get him because of his injuries.
And again, RG3 that was a Shanahan killed that quarterback. So
I can agree with
Yeah,
that. I can
that's
agree
that's
with that.
not
What is Cincinnati waiting?
What are they waiting for?
Maybe somebody's offering like 3 number 1s for it.
Nobody. I tell you what. You better be careful trading up too much, giving up too much for.
Miami said that they were calling Cincinnati as much as they could. They'd love to have Burrow.
Tom
but-
Calvin Hastings wanted to know if that is Steve DeGree or Will Boykins.
Listen, Calvin,
sitting
you,
up in
you
the
know
seat up
better.
in there in that-
First of
in
all,
the Green
ain't
Bay
nothing
Packer big
Dallas
seat.
on me. This is all Green Bay. Secondly, Steve DeGree ain't nowhere close this pretty.
I don't know, Will. I don't know.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised that man right there doesn't have a job in a front office.
Want to say hello to Jonah Griffith watching online. Kansas Cam Akers the biggest sleeper running back in this draft. Is that-
Oh, Eclair out of LSU.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's my best friend. That's Jonah. Appreciate you tuning in, buddy. But yeah, I think
hello to Chris
Elaire-
Nelson joining
Elaire-
in. Might have a call from him later.
Yeah, Elaire will be running back to watch. Me and Jonah both agreed on this comp. When you watched him run at LSU, he looked just like a young Maurice Jones-Drew. Build-wise, short, stocky, can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's probably strong as an ox, too. I can't remember how many guys he probably ran over in the national championship game. Yeah, he'll be special.
He'll be special.
I'm not as sold on Jonathan Taylor out of the running
But this
backs.
is not a running back
No,
year though.
it's not.
This is not a running back
It's
class.
not. He
Everybody's need right now is that the running backs positions are solidified in the NFL pretty much. It's a few people that need running backs.
Wouldn't it be fitting, guys, if the Bengals can't get that pick in because they are the Bungles if their internet went down? Wouldn't that be appropriate for that team, for that to happen
Well,
right now?
You would think they'd have like a disaster recovery plan or like a business continuity plan.
Or just replace the hamster in the
is
wheel.
that-
I mean,
is that-
something to.
The IT guy not in the coaches.
That's, I mean, it's gonna be. I don't.
driver.
Detroit's IT manager stayed in a Winnebago in his front yard just so he would make sure everything was running nice and smooth. But I would have to think, if something happened with the Bengals, they just pick up the phone and call Roger and say, "Look, this is our pick. Just go ahead and announce it."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
Just
got
announce it.
some kind of phone.
And
network
they're only
running.
doing the first round tonight, if I'm not mistaken. They'll just be like, "Look, go ahead and announce it, and we'll just be done for the night. We're fine. Call it a night." Think about that. They're only doing the first round tonight, and they got this from 8 to 11:30. 8 to 11:30.
I don't think I'll make it till 11:30.
It took me only an hour to go through 32 picks,
Exactly right.
but they have to.
I don't
that's
think it'll make it that long.
11:30.
I
You
don't
don't think
think-
it will?
I don't
No,
know.
not-
It's
they
going to take us
usually when
15
they-
minutes
'cause
to
they
get the
usually-
first for sure pick. So I don't know.
I know they're
if
taking
this-
it. What 3? They're almost at the 3-minute mark right now. It's on the
Especially
clock.
with us,
And we all know who they're taking.
the discussion of so many trades, it could stretch out this first round.
They've been on the clock 7 minutes, Hunter. I did not expect this.
No, I'm telling you, I did not expect them to take this long because everybody and their brother has known since the draft was, since they started combine work who they were taking.
Right.
There's no question. It's Joe Burrow,
Ohio kid
Ohio kid.
going home.
Yeah, look at this. Everybody's even they're
Finally-
showing him on television too.
The pick is in, guys. That's exciting.
Finally, dude.
Pick is in.
Come on now.
December 4th.
Let's go. Let's get with this pick.
They they got to show this they got to show this little video that some guy got paid a lot of money to do this video. So guys, we have to wait for that to get.
Has any player ever come from a town that actually looked like it had money? Every single player video you ever see on draft day shows you the worst part of their town. I tell you,
No. Joey Manziel
They
came
gotta
from
play
money.
it to heartstrings.
You
gotta play it to
can find a
heartstrings.
raggedy building in any
Yeah.
town.
That's right. Exactly right.
There's none. There's none around here. What are you talking about?
That's it.
Okay. we were watching the live stream of Shock Joxx sports podcast, folks. Hunter and myself, the guy over there in the Redskins jersey, him and myself host a podcast Mondays and Wednesdays. It was 3 times a week until this happened. We cut it back a little bit with no sports. And Saturdays, of course, is live on the radio in Cherville, 92.3 FM, and also live here on Facebook. Tune in with us. Saturday mornings is 8 a.m. To 10 a.m. Mondays and Wednesdays right now, we start around 2 o'clock every day. On Saturday mornings, you get to watch us eat some nice big old biscuits from Mission's Kitchen. We want to thank all of our food sponsors as always. We've been eating some pizza and wings. Hunter, I got you some wings and breadsticks for you. Special
Because
stuff
you
for
lactose intolerant.
Now, Will didn't have to put that out there like that, but I was just telling you what I got you. Thanks, Will.
Thank you.
Thank a Packers fan.
Hey,
Hey,
if you can't eat cheese,
a cheesehead would have an issue with that.
Wow.
Exactly.
Look at him
Yeah, there you
stuffing
go.
his face with that cheese pizza. Will, wave to you fans there in the top
Yep,
corner.
they saw that.
Look at Will Boykins up there. Now, Will, you have to wave to the camera, not above the camera.
Oh,
They just
my
saw your-
bad.
They just saw your armpit.
Hello.
There you go.
He gets booed every year. Like
Yeah, he gets booed every year.
They told people that, well, we're doing it virtually, so you can't boo them, to record your boos and email it to me.
Is everybody at the same time going to tweet their boos all at once?
I'm telling you. You see him on the screen. You got to
But
boo
why
him.
they had to be talking to
Hey, guys,
somebody.
I tell you what.
They were talking to somebody.
Rob,
Yeah.
in the spirit of booing Goodell, when he comes out there, how about we all boo?
I think that's a great idea.
We'll all boo.
If an Eagle
We'll-
fan can
we'll
do
be the
anything,
people's voice,
it's boo.
and we'll
I
boo
know,
him.
Robbie, you should be good at booing. Yes,
Absolutely.
You're-
Lots of
we
practice.
brought the booer in chief.
Lots of practice.
So they've been on the clock a while, Tom.
I'll tell you what about Joe Burrow. When I watched him
They were
in
talking to
college,
somebody.
he threw one
Redskins
of
are
the
already on the
prettiest. He
clock.
threw one of the prettiest deep balls.
So did they already announce him? Redskins are already on the clock.
yeah.
Yeah, oh,
The
yeah.
Redskins
now.
on the clock.
Did they show
We
the
missed our
commissioner?
booing
No, they
opportunity.
never showed the commissioner though.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did.
Why didn't nobody tell me?
Oh, boo.
Hey, let's get him on the next.
Y'all
one.
late.
Oh, we're gonna get him on the next.
Hey, better late than never when it comes to your booing.
Yeah, there is no late in booing, Will. all the way to the parking lot.
So Joe Burrow's off the clock.
He's a Cincinnati Bengal. That
a
means
Cincinnati
Andy
Bengal.
Dalton's time in Cincy will be maybe moving on. Is that guys? Where's Belichick going with this? Is he going to do anything surprising, or is he
He's
just playing
gonna
it
give.
slow?
If he's going after Andy Dalton, he's definitely gonna go ahead and give him a first round pick.
Yeah.
It's so late in the round.
Well, I don't know what you can get for him. The way the NFL trades go, it's crazy. Was it Cooks that's gotten traded for like 4 second rounders by now, and Cam couldn't get anything. Kyle Allen gets a fifth rounder. And what was it? DeAndre Hopkins. What did he get?
Second rounder.
And so it's just kind of random on who gets what for the trades.
Now there was somebody else involved with that trade with the.
Yeah, they sent Hopkins, and then the Texans got David Thompson. Or, ain't that his last name? No, what's his last name?
Johnson.
David
Thompson played
Played
basketball
basketball.
at Crest High School, and
Yes,
I don't know.
Back
Hunter,
in the
you're getting
70s.
as bad as me with names, buddy. You usually can rattle off names, man.
Tom-
You're about as bad as I
There's
am.
there's so many names I have been dealing with for like the past day.
You usually are Johnny on the spot. Don't get old
David
on me,
Johnson,
Hunter.
that's right.
Don't get old
David
on me.
Johnson.
any
Now, Hunter,
that trade putting Hopkins down there with Fitzgerald.
What?
That trade with putting Hopkins down there with Fitzgerald. That's gonna give dude the ultimate weapons right there.
Yeah, I
I
think
need-
Kyler Murray's going to be set up for success.
Oh
this
yeah,
Saturday.
he's definitely on that trade. Set him up all the way.
All right, so Burrow to the Bengals, guys, for the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. No surprise. All right, Hunter, the pick is in.
It's easy.
now, Hunter, I agree. They get Chase Young. That's a heck of a defensive line.
They could wreck the internet right here
but
by
as
picking somebody
soon-
like an offensive tackle.
As soon as my Eagles trade for
Or
Ngakoue, then we'll talk about defensive lines.
No,
Oh,
well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. All I'm saying is we got probably one of the scariest defensive lines in the NFC.
I agree.
Easily. And I know everybody's going to be like, he's a rookie. You don't know
Hey.
what he's going to do. He is a sure-fired. Everybody's saying a sure-fired Hall of Famer.
Who?
Yep. Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Surefire Hall of Famer.
Look, man.
But the only thing that stops him is an injury. I
think
really
that stops
believe
it.
that.
You know that
That's-
stops everybody.
Yep, that's the only
stops-
thing for that
That
kid.
stops
Wait a
everybody.
minute, it could be those all-pro offensive linemen that are in front of him too.
All
guys.
I know is they
He's
like
only played
they
college.
like
So-
to bring up the fact that he didn't have a sack in like his final 3 games, and I always like to tell him, well, did you look at the tape? He was triple teamed the whole
I was about
time.
to say this. That's the guy you're planning for.
He was
yep.
triple teamed the whole time.
So Philip is the first one to make a coronavirus joke online about the situation. He said the team should wear a mask with the team's logos on it instead of hats. Well, he didn't say instead of hats. I just put that in there. Maybe
Well,
instead of
yeah.
hats. Want to say hello to some of our other folks, Dan Grellman. Who the Saints take, and what does Detroit do with the 3rd pick?
Was that a question?
Yes.
I think the Saints could benefit just from another wide receiver. That would make it like this is Drew Brees' potential last year, and then maybe one more year. They're solid all over the board. I think the Saints could really just benefit from having that 3rd receiver.
But when they pick him, like, do you wait to like the 4th? Do you
I
wait
don't- I
4th or
don't know.
5th round?
well, not if you
And
have
pick. What if you? If
Well-
I'm the Saints, I would draft all defense and 1 wide receiver. Any
just- it just
any
depends on who
defense
you
I
love.
can help and throw at Drew Brees, I help him. They have no problem scoring the points. So I would throw as much
Well,
as them. But
then-
you're right; they need an extra receiver.
Emmanuel
Maybe somebody
Sanders
that
is
can
in
take.
his 30s. We know what Michael Thomas is, and Jared Cook is great out of the tight end position. I think a 3rd wide receiver, that offense with Alvin Kamara is just deadly. And then what was the other one? What does Detroit do? I think Detroit trades out. I think we all are in agreement. Detroit's looking to maybe move, maybe back just 2 spots.
They don't take a.
Yeah, but let's got the
lot
Detroit.
of them
You talk about a team without a cornerback. You
You're
know,
right,
you've
they
already
moved
moved
off
Darius
Darius
Slay,
Slay.
so you've got to do something in that secondary.
If they don't move the Lions, I think we are all in agreement that they're probably going to take Okuda.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
If they don't move, I think we're all in agreement they take the cornerback.
Really?
Why not?
Who else would they take?
Who's else there?
Tackles,
They could take Derek Brown if they really wanted him.
Simmons. I don't know. What is Detroit? They need something.
I mean,
They always need a
They
lot
just
of
lost
Darius
the
Slay
Slade.
was-
They just lost they number 1.
I was about to say Darius Slay was their number 1.
Where did he
cornerback.
end up at? Who moved? That's right.
I don't want to hear it.
The Eagles defense got that much better. Anyway,
wanna hear it.
that's
I
good
wanna
stuff,
hear it.
guys. I'm really enjoying this show.
How did I get stuck in here with Robbie and his Eagles talk?
We can all hear him. We might be able to turn him off.
We
in
can
here.
all
I think
hear
we can
him.
turn
Hey,
him down.
don't
I
worry.
gotta-
Don't worry, guys. You just have to listen to it to pick number 21, and we'll be all right.
All I gotta say is, last year I heard a lot of chirping around the league that maybe y'all secondary had a little bit of bitterness about him. Maybe you guys didn't always get along. Is Darius Slade gonna be that glue?
He
I don't
is.
know.
He is. He's gonna be the tie that binds.
I don't know. I think they all hate each
You
other.
went
at the end of the
biblical
day.
with that?
There you go.
There's a lot of green in that room and a lot of brown in this room.
Look at that. He's already on the phone.
We're all
Look at that.
a good 5 or 6 feet away from each other, social
Let's hear it,
distancing,
Chase.
and waiting on the next pick. Looks like Young may be on the phone.
Bring him home.
Hunter, are you going online to buy a new jersey? How soon?
Look, I'm telling you, when they announce his number, I think he said he likes the number 99. I'm fine with it. If he wants to wear 99, I'll get the number 99.
Do you
Chase
think
Young
he's going to
jersey.
check with you to see if you're fine with it first?
Yeah, absolutely. I've already sent him my number. Who do you think he's calling right now? I had to send it. I had
All
to,
right, guys.
I had to tell him.
Is
hey,
this
man,
terrible?
I'm working.
Tell me if
Deny
I'm a
the
terrible
call.
person
Deny
right
the
now.
call. Get you-
Do what, Ryan?
Tell me if I'm a terrible person right now, because I saw him and his family, and I'm sure that picture was of a loved one. But the first thing that went through my head was J.R. Ewing. Does that make me a terrible person? Because I
JR
thought
from-
J.R. Ewing when I saw that picture with his family.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, just checking. I just wanna make
It's
sure.
time.
But remember, I'm an Eagles fan, and that's what we do.
That's what
This
you
is
do.
what we do. Yeah, boo.
Oh, boo.
Goodell is up for the pick.
Chase Young,
There it
defensive end,
is.
Ohio State.
A
And
buck.
ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.
Like Hunter goes Buckeyes.
But, oh, my goodness.
So he's just happy.
I'm out.
He's just happy he didn't have to become a Buffalo Bills fan.
Hunter says they won the draft. It's over. The show's over. He's signed off.
See, but
He's done.
immediate impact. I mean, that's what you
man.
want out of your number one pick, Kevin.
Yeah.
Immediate impact. That's what they're going to get out of him.
Let's see what they say about him. 6'5", 264, position number 1 overall ranked, grade 95. Young is the most physically gifted player in the 2020 class, it says. He should quickly develop one of the NFL's premier edge rushers. There's some room for improvement when it comes to getting off the blocks, but he's already a good run defender with potential to get even better.
And he's going home. He's going home. He's from the D.C. area.
Redskins finished 27th in the league last year. I don't know why I moved off my Chase Young. 27th in the league in points allowed and yards allowed per game last year. So the Skins need help on defense. And, of course, Ron Rivera, they're hoping him coaching helps out. And,
Oh,
and,
no.
and Hunter gets his pick, and instead of sitting here and analyzing it as a Redskins fan, he goes and grabs the
We won the draft.
three.
What's the matter?
But it doesn't matter anymore. It's over
We
for.
won.
Three-
We got
I,
the best player
I
in the
think
draft.
as a Redskins fan, you got to be very excited. You finally hit on a draft pick. Very good. That is good stuff.
Finally hit.
We finally hit. It was a no miss.
That's
So
right.
Damn, they
If
couldn't miss.
if they screwed this one up, you're exactly right, Hunter. Just any team in the league.
I agree.
He said he's the most talented player in the draft and too good of a value to pass on, says Steve. Is that Mink? I don't know. All right, guys. The lines are on the clock, have been for about 7 minutes now. Where
No, they cut it after the first pick. They cut it to like 8 or 7.
is it, 5 or 7 or something like that? Good. I didn't think that was going to go 10 minutes pick. That would be like a, 6-hour show?
Oh, God. They couldn't afford to do that.
No. All right, so Chase Young to the Redskins. Hunter is already typing in his orders online.
Yep, it's already ordered and on the way.
Somebody want to know who won the wing eating contest. Well, we had different appetites. Some guys had wings, some guys had pizza. Hunter, if you've ever seen or know of Hunter of eating, he will mow down whatever is in front of him very quickly.
See, I don't like that comparison, though, Clowney. Because then people will start to make the assumption he's got the work ethic of Clowney and maybe the injury proneness of Clowney. I'm like, no. I'm going to say like a J.J. Watt. But faster.
No,
Go
it's
Buckeyes.
not even the same time. That J.J. Watt is not even the same. That's not the same. That's not apples to apples.
J.J. Watt's not
He's-
what he
he's
used
a
to
brute.
be.
J.J. Watt's a brute. This is a speed rusher.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I said J.J. Watt, but faster.
His J.J. Watt did all his rushings with his arms. He picked people up and threw them out of the way. This guy just blows around people. There's a difference in the way they style, the way
You've
they.
seen this guy? If you've seen this guy, he can pick up and throw it and put people
Let's
out of
say,
the way too.
they
man.
said
Those guys.
they said
I
that
guess.
he might still grow too while he's in the NFL.
He's that dude. That dude's scary looking.
Someone said that, like his doctor said, he's got the possibility of growing to being 6'8".
Really? Yeah. Well, some.
Is that all? Is that all?
that enough.
Just
I
like
mean,
the Lions. This is so they didn't trade. They made the pick.
he's a small forward.
It's good. It's going to be a CUDA.
Pick is in. All right, guys.
I
everybody,
agree.
Robbie,
I agree.
Robbie, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going cornerback. I think Akuda here.
Yeah,
I think they
Is,
have
is
to
anybody
address
not
that.
going to Cuda?
No.
Is he that good?
Yeah, I mean he's the number one
Yeah,
cornerback in the
Yeah,
draft.
I think
He's
he
locked
feels
down.
the need at a position, and he's the number one player at his position.
Okay.
So
Good.
Plus, he went
I
to
like
Ohio
the way you
State,
said
so
it.
you know
Well
they taught
put,
him how to
Robbie.
I try.
It must be that Georgia education.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Oh goodness.
All
All
right.
right, so we got.
So
I
no
guess they're gonna
trade.
announce.
Looks like no trade.
No trade.
So 3 is solidified.
There's Patricia. Quinn. Is this their last year in Detroit? Do they have to make the playoffs?
They better win some games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they gotta win
they
some
better
games.
show major improvement.
With the added playoff teams, it's pretty much if you got a winning record, you'll get in. Here's the pick, folks.
There you go.
Yeah, we got Jeff Okuda picked to the Detroit Lions. So no surprises so far. Everybody agrees with Mel Kiper Jr. and this is what. So
This is what keeps his job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it just be fun if everybody just picked somebody different? Whatever Mel Kiper says. I mean, they did. You know, Gene nailed the Jimmy Clausen. I'm still waiting on that retirement, Rob. I will retire, he said, if Jimmy Clausen does not become a good quarterback in the NFL. Like, still waiting on it. He's up there. You know what, Rob? The check keeps getting cleared from ESPN. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shows up to work, I guess. He's a big corner with smooth hips, quick feet, and good playing speed. That's not my word. That's Steve Munch's words. He played receiver in high school and flashes of solid ball skills. Average tackler who takes too long to get off blocks, but he's tough and willing in run support. Number 1 ranked, 5 overall, 94 grade for Okuda, the Ohio State Buckeye. Tom, you saw him play more than
Oh
anybody.
yeah. I mean, he's NFL ready. He's
His
you know,
ball,
they-
I mean, he's got good ball skills.
ball skills. I mean, he's an excellent defensive back. Of course, we've Denzel Ward a couple years back for Cleveland. I mean, they just churn out defensive backs. So he's kind of in that.
Arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the league came out of Ohio State in Marshawn Lattimore.
All right, Hunter, is this where it gets wild?
Yep, that's right.
Is this where it gets wild? What's the Giants going to do? No quarterback here from them probably. So we're looking at one of the tackles or possibly, I think, guys, I've been saying for a while that Gettleman here is actually going to halfway be making the pick for the Panthers. If he picks a tackle, now the Panthers can go Brown or Simmons. If he goes Brown or Simmons, they can go the other one. So I think Gettleman, this pick right here, has a ton of influence and it will have a lot to say about what the Panthers do here in just a few picks. The Giants are up now with 6 minutes on the clock. Rob, what do you think the other NFC East team's going to do?
I think they need an offensive lineman, but I don't think you want to take it here. When you look at I think there's good linemen on the board. There's not great linemen. Not one that I think I want to do at number 4 because you've got to have you found your quarterback, you've got your running back, you've got to find that solid offensive line to put up front. And the Giants are another team, they want picks. So I think if there's a team out there, if we're going to see a trade for a top 5 pick, it happens right here with the Giants.
So you had Hunter's scenario where the Chargers would hop up here to get in front of Miami, who they feel might take Tua. I don't think either one of them's going to take him. I don't think he's going with the number 5 pick. I just don't think so.
I mean, the question then becomes if Tua doesn't go at 5 or 6, who takes him?
That's right.
Who takes him?
Then he might do one of those like
Does
these-
Carolina ditch everything and say, hey,
It could be one of those deals where if you're Tua, you're thankful we're not all sitting in a room together as the camera keeps showing you in a big room full of people and players are walking off and you're continue to drop down the board like we saw in the NBA draft last year.
It'll happen. I mean, I think that's going to happen. We'll see. It really depends on what Miami does. Well, if Miami doesn't take him, then the question marks will start coming up. Well, how far is he going to fall?
Well, Chargers might take him next in the next spot right after that. Tom, the Browns are in the same situation. I think the Panthers are, but I think the Browns have their eyes more on they could go defense or a tackle here.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to see, because I have seen some mock drafts where Simmons falls to 10, even though Will says no way, Tom, forget it. You're probably right, Will. But if he's there, I think they take him. If he's not, because there's so many tackles, even the kid out of Boise State, a lot of them are talking of, I can't remember him, but he's another one of these tackles. So why not trade, get a free pick, and you're still going to get maybe a quality tackle who's going to come right in and start. That may be the scenario if they can. All depends on what you can get too. Who wants to move up to number 10 bad enough? Who's there that somebody else wants? And it's a lot of intangibles there.
Would it surprise anybody if Miami took Herbert over Tua?
I've heard.
They've been talking.
I'm about to say I've heard they've really started to like what they see out of him.
Then let me take it a step further. Would it surprise anybody if the Chargers took Jordan Love before Tua?
That wouldn't surprise me.
If you see
Jordan
then
Love
you're going to
is
start wondering how
Listen,
far.
that's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
was about to
If
say
you
if
see
that happens,
if you see that, we're just playing the hypotheticals because truthfully, I think Miami could go Tua or Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
but
they
if you
could.
stort throwing that fourth quarterback in there that everybody says is on fourth on their list, and he jumps the second and some people's favorite quarterback, what's that? Like, what do these teams know that we don't know?
Yeah, but Herbert's got a lot of experience. He's got the big arm. He's got the size.
Herbert and Love both have the starting experience.
Yeah, but
So
the
does Tua.
size, and when you talk about the arm, they say that he's got the big league arm. So I think there's a lot of boxes that he checks.
They give they check those same boxes for Love too.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah,
They
you're
check
right.
those same
You're
boxes.
right.
The big
You're right.
arm. He's got the league arm. He's got the throwing power. He can throw the underneath. Now there's some boxes that are not checked for him. He doesn't look off the DBs as well as Herbert does. He's got a problem with staring somebody down. So that's some of the things that he'll have to work on.
But
so I
that's
have to
teachable.
coach. Yeah,
That's
right.
coachable.
That's coachable. Yeah, that's stuff that can
if
be
those
coached
two
out of.
guys go before Tua, New England Patriot fans are going to start dancing in the streets because I could see Tua then going to the Patriots there, and all of a sudden Bill Belichick's got his next quarterback.
Yeah, but see, that's the question, is because if you take Herbert and Love before Tua, well, how much further is Tua really going to drop? Because all these other teams that might have been wishy-washy on who they were going to take, what if they just want him because they're not in love with who they have? I don't know. It's like the Raiders have got so many picks. They don't like Derek. They're not sold on Derek Carr, and they brought in Marcus Mariota to be the backup. You mean to tell me if Tua slipped right there?
I mean,
Mayock
that's
and John
I mean, they're
Gruden?
sitting there at 19. If he's falling down the board, they've got that second pick there in the first round at 19.
Yeah,
Could definitely
but
be
I
an
can agree
option.
with you, Rob. I think if the Giants don't move out of this position, to me they got to go offensive line.
They
got
have
to
to.
protect Jones.
Yes.
And Saquon can't just dance his way to wins every week. He can't. Eventually, he's gonna get hurt.
And you hit and like we talked earlier, the defensive line play in the NFC East can be ridiculous this year.
It can be this year. I could see this is where I think Wirfs comes off the board. If they go offensive tackle, I think they go Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa. That's just me. Good guess, maybe, but we'll see.
Pick us in.
Nobody's traded.
Not yet.
That's what's crazy.
Don't worry, that's number 30. If it'll get traded, number 30 will get traded.
What's crazy is
Somebody.
every year it seems like guys everybody talks about all these trades are going to happen and wild things are going to go on, and more times than not, everything's chalk, and we all at the end of the night go, okay, who won?
But unless you get a really great deal, I say keep your pick if it's that high, because you're going to get exactly just about every time who you want, what you need.
Yeah.
So
And
Let's see what they
that's
got.
what's so dangerous, guys. We talk about dealing these first round picks. You look at a team like the Chicago Bears, not holding a first round pick this year. And let's be honest, they weren't a playoff team last year. What, 8-8? So if you're a Bears fan, how can you celebrate your leadership because these decisions you're making got us out of a first round and took us to an 8-8 record?
all right, so what's the pick? What's the pick? Hurry up. This is just too much lag time between pick is in and who is.
I mean, there's a reason they say it's going to go 8 to 11:30.
They're not all in the same room this year, Tom.
They just gotta.
I guess. Well, let's see. You think they went tackle? That's what you think.
I think they went tackle, but the sexy pick would be Isaiah Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
He could go that high. He definitely could go that high.
Who's
That-
that? Say that again.
The sexy pick would be Isaiah Simmons
Oh yeah.
out of Clemson, but I think they go tackle.
That's not. Well, that maybe one of their needs, but it's not really addressed in their need.
I mean, the Giants are in the same position we are, Washington. We're not going to win the Super Bowl next year, so you got to build for the future.
Right. Yep.
Well, you don't know. You never could. You never know.
We could. We technically are following the same path that the 49ers did. Draft
Yeah.
the defensive end right there, and then they made the Super Bowl run. We'll see
They
if we
got
can do
good
that.
in a hurry because
they
they
did.
were a laughing stock.
And the
Wasn't long
playoffs keep
ago.
expanding. Everybody's going to get in eventually.
When
so,
is
you
that?
know.
When is that going to take place? The
What's
expansion?
2021?
That's what I thought.
2021.
Not till
No,
fall.
not till then. Come on, Goodell. Let us boo you some more.
Poor guys, they just love to hate Goodell, don't they?
I don't know
Love that.
why.
They just.
I mean, I'm indifferent about him. You hardly ever see him, so I'm just like,
so am I. I'm pretty indifferent about it myself. So I'll see what they do. See.
oh, they took
They took
a tackle,
Thomas.
but they
Took a
didn't take
tackle.
Wirfs.
I had a Andrew Thomas was my highest rated tackle.
That's not a bad.
I
pick.
would not have took him at 4.
That's not a. I don't know if you take him at 4. I'm with you there, but it's still that's not a. That
That's
boy
crazy.
can. He's
Everywhere
a good,
I had
he's a
looked.
good ball player.
He ended up falling to being the second or third favorite tackle. Everywhere I looked, they liked Wirfs out of Iowa and they liked Becton out of Louisville more than they liked Andrew Thomas. I saw a lot of them saying Thomas might fall to 10 to the Browns.
There's a
And
kid out of Alabama they've had up there high too.
Willis,
Yeah.
as Andrew Willis.
Yeah, they've had a kid out of Alabama, and the kid from Boise State's been talking.
Now
about
this
it.
is where things get interesting. Miami. Whichever quarterback they decide on, but if they don't go a quarterback, it's going to throw everything for a loop.
Yeah, it is. Let's see,
And if
'cause
they don't
everybody-
go quarterback, you wonder, are there other things in the mix as far as who they could be signing?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, because
Another-
you got Newton still out there. You got
Cam's
Jameson
available,
still out there.
Jameson's available.
So-
Cincinnati is moving off Dalton, but you
Looks
got to
at
trade for him.
Right.
So
you wouldn't have to give much. To get.
you wouldn't have to give much, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati just holds on to the Dalton for this last year, just kind of like as an insurance policy to be like, okay, you're gonna if Joe Burrow needs to lean on you and you need to kind of like teach him as a veteran presence in the locker room. It wouldn't surprise me if Cincinnati did that.
Well, a lot of people are thinking two in the next 2 picks. That's what I'm looking for, Hunter. It's not, is Tua going to go?
I
or
think-
Herbert going to go in these next?
Right.
two
I think the
that's
next two
everybody.
picks is Tua and Herbert, but I just don't know which order
Which
they would
order?
be.
Which one would you take, Will? I'm taking Herbert.
Me, I would take Herbert right
Yeah,
now.
that's-
I'm not sold on Tua.
Well, he looked good in shorts and t-shirt throwing passes in that indoor.
I mean,
facility.
he looked.
But everybody.
I'm
does
not
it.
doubting that
Everybody does
his
it.
ability. I'm worried about his stability. How long he can stay. Hold
Healthy.
on to. He's not played a full season.
And
He's
if
had
you- if
and,
you're
he's,
el- and if
and
you're
it's not
injured in
it's not
college-
injured. It's not small injuries.
No.
All of them had to have major operations done to them.
And if you're injured in college, you're going to get injured in the pros.
Absolutely.
It's just how it is.
Each step's getting faster. The game gets faster at each step.
They're going through all the trades that they have made to get all the stockpile, all these picks they
The
have.
Dolphins.
Yeah. Because they have how many picks do they have?
They got a
Gosh
lot. I
almighty.
think they said within the next 2 years they've got 25 picks.
Something ridiculous. Surely they're going to trade some of them away.
They might trade some of them away.
Yeah.
If anything, sometimes hoarding draft picks, just ask Bill Belichick, it's like currency. It's just
Right.
like money to him.
right.
He just deals them away.
Well, they sound like the Browns with the 21 starting quarterbacks
Since
since
Marino.
2000. Yeah. Yeah, they just haven't been able to get, if you can't get stability at that position, it's just hard to win games. Huh?
That's why I didn't want us taking a quarterback. I didn't want us, Washington, taking another quarterback and just starting the cycle all over
It's
again.
hit or miss, isn't it?
It's hit or miss. That's what it
Hit or
is.
miss.
Well, how many teams, haven't replaced a quarterback in almost 20 years? The Browns didn't until Baker. 20 years. 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 The Bills, if you want to count Josh Allen, they have it until him for Jim Kelly. It's been the Dolphins still haven't replaced Dan Marino, and that's his whole division. Brady and Belichick feasted on that division.
Until like now, even you could say the Jets haven't replaced Joe Namath.
I mean, and that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
No, you had Ken O'Donnell. Come on now, he was good.
I'm just saying, like
Ken O'Donnell was good. I
Neil
agree.
O'Donnell.
Neil O'Donnell.
There's another.
Neil
There's
O'Donnell.
another
Vinny
name.
Testaverde,
Yeah.
Pennington, and Sanchez
And-
both made
and-
the conference title games
And
multiple
Brent
times.
Favre
Multiple
played there a
Sanchez
year or
as a
two.
multiple times.
icon.
What do you mean? He is definitely an icon. Everybody
fumble.
knows the butt fumble.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the butt fumble.
March Sanchez.
Yeah. He's an icon. I don't say what for. He's still an icon.
He's not an icon. The butt fumble
Yeah.
is an icon.
Exactly. And who did it? If it wasn't, it's him.
What?
Yeah.
Whose butt was it?
Fell into.
Yeah.
Well, the Dolphins are the 26th pick as well. I knew they had a
Lineman
couple
should have got out of the way, shouldn't he? Was he backing up for?
Because he got blew up.
Just running.
Got blew up. Don't say
All right,
it.
guys, here it comes. Here it comes. Who's it going to be? They picks in.
Robbie, who
They
you
didn't
got?
trade. They did not trade. Who is it?
Dolphins. What are they going to do? Is it Tua
They're going to
or tackle?
They're going to
Will, Tua or tackle?
I don't know. It's either Tua or Herbert. It's not no tackle.
Yeah,
I've been seeing tackles.
I agree with Will.
I
but
got
think
Herbert.
I think it's going to be Herbert.
Oh, y'all thinking quarterback?
Yeah, it's definitely a
Hey, wait,
quarterback.
whoa, Kevin. There's Mel's
Cam and
best.
Jameis is still available.
There's Mel's best available. So you just read that. You know exactly who's going when, right?
No, I really don't give a rat's ass what Mel
No,
Kuiper
I
has
just,
to
I
say.
just want to
Rats.
say,
I don't.
Kevin is the president of the Mel Kiper
I
Jr.
know.
fan club.
He slicked his hair back and pissed. I don't know what he did. He sucks. All together. Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
what.
Will, there's no FCC on this one.
Okay.
Just letting you know. If you
Yeah,
want,
trust me, they've surprised me a few times on the Shock Jocks podcast.
well, it's
Okay.
called Shock Jocks.
That's right.
Guys, I did figure out the greatest moment. We talk about the butt fumble with Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
His greatest moment ever. Let's not forget he did wear an Eagles jersey. That has got to be the greatest moment in his
He wore
career.
a Redskins jersey too, and the best
Well,
thing
we-
he did for us was hand off a 90-yard
We just-
touchdown to Adrian Peterson.
We
We
can't-
just sitting
can't
around
hold that.
waiting
We
on
can't- you
random
can't-
Eagles comments.
You can't
from-
hold that against a man.
Wait a minute. My mind was racing about the Jets. What about Chad Pennington?
I said he wanted him and Sanchez both made
I mean,
the
they were all right.
multiple conference title games.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. You said that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting there talking about they're trying to replace greats, and then you're bringing up Chad Pennington and Mark Sanchez like they're great. Like they're great. They've never replaced Dan Marino.
multiple conference title games.
I don't hear many people saying Chad Pennington and Dan Marino in the same sentence.
Can't even.
They won the same number of Super Bowls, and they may have made the same number of conference title
It,
games. too.
it don't make a difference. They don't have the same number of touchdown passes. I can guarantee you that.
That's true.
Guys, Ryan Leaf won the same number of Super Bowls, so let's just.
Right.
We don't like it out.
You
They took
suck.
Tua.
Tua.
Took
I tell you,
Tua.
there it is, guys.
Tua to Miami.
They took Tua. Holy cow.
Where
God, it's a lot.
does Cam and Jameis Winston go now? The Chargers are next on the clock. There was all kinds of
Herbert.
Twitter news earlier about the Jaguars trying to get up and get a quarterback, and now it's turned in.
Whoa, don't bail on Minshew Mania. No.
That's what the rumor is, Hunter.
No.
That's what
He had the best record as a starting rookie quarterback last year than even Kyler Murray, who won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Shut up.
That's surprising.
It's not like I don't pull this out my ass. I mean, I know it's true. He had the best winning record out of all rookie quarterbacks.
Will, don't hate on the Minshew
Oh
mania.
my God.
Don't hate on the
Let's,
jorts,
let's
bro.
have Minshew mania.
Don't
Let's
hate
go
on the
for it.
jorts.
Yeah.
Well,
It look,
for the Dolphins'
dude
sake, so
literally
it works out.
looks like a 1970s porn star.
Every now and then you need somebody to class up the joint, okay? You gotta have somebody in your group that can
I
class
can
it up.
agree though with what Tom just said. For the Dolphins' sake, I hope this plays out.
Is he only 6 foot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's short.
Oh no, he's supposed to be the next Drew Brees.
Left-handed Drew Brees.
I thought he was like closer to 6'2". I didn't
No,
realize.
no,
he
no,
was
no,
6
no.
foot.
I don't know. I think Baker might be taller than him.
No.
Yeah. Might be.
Might be. I know who isn't. Kyler Murray.
I know Chaz Rat makes him look like Nate.
I know
Robinson.
I know who don't care. Kyler Murray.
He's still good. I don't care if he is 5'9". He can play.
I'm not gonna sit here and say he's not good. I'm just saying he's not. He ain't taller than Tua or Baker.
I
Well,
want to say hello to
See,
Paul Nassanoff. Yeah, he says that
Hey,
there goes
Paul.
Tua's career. There goes Tua's career.
Hey,
Hunter.
Paul. Hey, you might be right. That'd be the smartest thing you said tonight, Paul. Be the smartest thing. And I know you're probably screaming and
I was
crying
gonna say,
that
you're
your
not even there.
screaming and crying that your Giants took a tackle.
Oh, got a Giants fan. Who's next on the clock? Chargers?
Yes, Chargers.
All right. In just a minute, Chris, if you're watching, I'm going to call you up here on Facebook in just a minute. We get to talking about the Panthers as soon as we see what the Chargers do. So I'm probably going to try to find you here in just a second.
Hey, Kevin, you want to recap the top 5 real quick?
Yes, sir, we can. We can. For
We got somebody asking questions about the top 5.
Got you. Joe Burrow goes number 1 from the LSU Tigers to the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 2, Hunter.
Chase Young.
So Hunter has been pounding food ever since the Redskins announced the draft, and Hunter said
We
they
won the draft.
won.
He trying to get his weight up.
Jeff Okudah goes 3 to the Detroit Lions. So just read your mock drafts and you know what's happened so far. Up until the 4th pick, when we all knew Gettleman was going to do something here and it would affect what the rest of the teams below him do by a lot, this was the spot if Detroit didn't trade out. Andrew Thomas, the number 1 tackle, taking from Hunter, Georgia. That's your team. Tell us a little bit about Andrew Thomas.
Go down.
In that 4th spot, going to New York to protect Daniel Jones.
I think he's going to be a really good asset, not just protecting Daniel Jones, but he was great in the run game. That's one thing, Georgia, that we love to do. We will continue to pound the rock no matter what. They call us RBU. We just produce running backs. But you always got to have that offensive line that creates the holes for them to find. I think he's going to be fantastic matched up with Saquon Barkley. I think, truthfully, that they really got a good player here, and it'll help their offense going forward.
I agree. That's a great asset for him, especially in the run game, and I think that's what they're trying to tone up to do is to run the ball. And
I agree.
I think that's why they chose him, not for his pass blocking, but before his downhill run blocking. He's an incredible offensive tackle out.
Absolutely.
Guys, I figured out the number 1 strategy for NFL management.
pick is not in yet.
Do not take a player west of the Rockies.
What?
You take a look at your best players.
Down here.
Do not take a player west of the Rockies.
They're down here.
You better stay from Texas and work your way back east.
You got to look at the Big 12, Big 10, and the SEC. Maybe even some ACC players. They produce some great talent.
John Elway was
All I got to say is
John
that
Elway was-
Aaron
Stanford.
Rodgers is a California boy.
So
Well,
Chargers got 3
I'm proud of
minutes.
y'all's 2,
Are we
3,
going
4 players.
quarterback or I mean, what's the Chargers doing here? I mean, they could go Winston, Cam, one of these guys up next. They could move back,
And Kevin, the thing there, when you look at their name, the key is L.A.
right?
And so you want to have to me, that big time face of your franchise.
You got to sell tickets.
So why don't you go Jameis or Cam
That's
and do
that
something
the
else
Chargers
here?
have not done very well. Sell
They
tickets.
can't even sell out a soccer stadium they've been playing at.
As soon as the Chargers make this pick, one of our co-hosts on some of the podcasts, Chris Nelson, a local Panthers fan, is going to join us here on Facebook in just a minute. I think I've mashed all the buttons right. We'll see in just a moment. As the Chargers, the pick is in. There's Aaron Will Boykins, second favorite player of all time.
What if you sign one of those 2 quarterbacks and take C.D. Lamb here?
That receiving core would be the best in football.
How about that? I mean, think about it.
Sign Jameis.
Sign
Keenan
Jameis.
Allen, Mike Williams would be the best defensive or best receiving core in football.
Chris, can you hear us on there? Can you hit thumbs up right there real quick? I see you watching. I got you muted real quick. All right, got you, buddy. So they're showing a little montage on TV. There's Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Football.
Can we
Two
fast
guys in the
forward?
room have Browns jerseys on, and one guy owns a Manziel shirt. So 60% of the people in here have had to pull for Manziel at some point there.
I threw my Johnny Football shirt. I had a Johnny Football t-shirt.
Well, yours is Manziel Mania, right, Hunter? Is that the one you've got?
Mine's Money Manziel.
Money Manziel.
It was his college days at A&M.
Money Manziel.
It's A&M colors.
We need a Money Boykins shirt.
I remember when they used to sack and people used to do that. Like,
I know, right?
They
I'll tell you what,
pull him down with
he
the
may
one
not
arm.
worked out in the pros, but damn, he was exciting to watch in college.
It was good in
Yeah,
college.
he was.
He was. They don't always pan out, but they're still pretty damn good.
Maybe,
I'm probably
maybe
wearing
maybe
all
he
of
liked
this.
to party just a little bit. How are they, Hunter? They sound good.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
It
Appreciate it.
sounds
Thank you
pretty
so much.
good.
Do they sound good in there too, y'all?
I haven't been paying attention. I'm trying to watch the board, but sounding good sounds about
I
right.
didn't know if y'all could hear him smacking his lips in there as loud as we could in here. They're
Ah,
honey.
let me
They're
move 'em away.
they're honey barbecue.
Oh,
They're very good.
Okay.
Very good.
I didn't want to get hot and knock you out of here. So here comes Goodell. Everybody ready? Boo. Herbert,
There you go.
bingo.
quarterback Justin Herbert.
Will, we got the players. We didn't get the order correct.
We didn't get out, but I said that those were the next two.
So Mel Kiper Jr.
West
earning
Coast
his
should've
living
left him
tonight.
alone.
Him and Mark McShay. McShay is not there with the coronavirus. Actually, he is out ill. But they go Herbert here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, guys. The Panthers are on the clock, and let's see if I can do this right. I'm gonna
If
pull
they
up
got any sense, the Panthers got any sense right here, they get Simmons to fill that. I mean, he's the best available middle linebacker that can fill that spot they just vacated.
Wait a minute, Kevin. I figured out. Christian, who's the Giants fan, is my cousin in Canada. We are international.
There we go. Chris,
What's
can you
up,
can you
cuz?
hear us there, buddy?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let's see if we can hear Chris.
Let's see if
Yes,
he
I can.
talk back. I hadn't checked my phone in a while. It might have been a while since he was on there.
Chris is talking. Chris, you got us there. I might have to reset your mic here and pop it out, but we'll try.
He's a coach up there. I know he's on there with his kids a lot, coaching up there in Canada.
Chris Nelson, you got us there, buddy?
Yes.
Give me a talk. You said
Can you
yes.
hear me?
Talk, Chris.
Yeah. Well,
Yes. Can
It's
you hear
hit,
me?
Chris. It's all right, Chris. It's hitting. The folks online can hear you. For some reason, I can't this second, but I can always be changed. Go ahead and real quick for the folks online, give what you think the Panthers might be looking at doing right here.
They'll either pick Simmons or Brown.
I got you there now. I got you. Simmons or Brown. Can you hear him, Tom? You guys hear him?
I
over
can
there?
hear him.
All right, Chris. Welcome to the show. Everybody's got you dialed in now. So you think they're going defense here with the new coach? Now the new coach is an offensive coach. Would they go big surprise here? Anybody on offense? A new tackle or anything like that?
I don't think so. It's either Simmons or Brown.
No, nothing else. Okay. What do you like? What would you like as the Panthers fan? Are you leaning either way? I saw the way Marty Herney looked at Derek Brown. They keep showing it. They've been showing a picture of that forever, and I just keep thinking to myself that he looks in love with him, and I keep thinking it is Brown just based on that alone, and that's just a silly way maybe to look at it. But are you leaning either way on what you think they might be doing?
I don't have a strong preference. I'm good with either one. Simmons or Brown, fine with either one.
All right, any surprises here? What do you think about Thomas there at 4 with the Giants?
Well, I thought it was going to be that other tackle, Wirfs or whatever his name was.
Right.
But Thomas is a good player. I would be real hesitant to take Tua in the top 10 with those injuries.
So you're hesitant. I told you guys what, as far as Tua goes, that I wasn't a big fan coming into this, but the pick is in here, Chris, for the Panthers, and they're going to take a commercial as the pick is in, so we get more analysis from you. It is our that's good for us. It is our hometown, our Panthers radio network for the folks watching live online. So this is good for us. So moving on from Cam, you don't think how about later on, Chris? You think they may add another receiver for another weapon to help out Bridgewater and extend the field for McCaffrey?
Yeah, they'll probably do that later. But college football now is producing a zillion wide receivers every draft, so you can get wide receivers later. There's plenty of them.
All right, I know you wasn't on the podcast Wednesday. We had Gene Bulls on. I don't know if you heard the part where I asked him about, do you think the rest of the NFC averages 40 points on the Panthers next year? Hunter said at least 30. This year it was a little bit, I think right over 30. It was like 31 or something if I did the math right. But they need Simmons and Brown is what you're saying, though, here, 100% to make the difference and get back to – because these teams got some powerful offenses in the South.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Drew Brees, future Hall of Famer now. Tampa's got Brady, future Hall of Famer. Atlanta's got Matt Ryan, who I don't know about future Hall of Famer, but he's at least pretty good at the worst.
He's an MVP.
Yeah. Well, he was an MVP the year they made the Super Bowl, but statistically that was an anomaly. All his other seasons have been pretty good. He had one great year and a bunch of pretty good years.
Okay. They've added Todd Gurley as well here in the offseason. So the Falcons looking to get into this.
He revitalizes his career in Atlanta.
You leaning anybody as the favorite right now, Chris, in the NFC South? Is Brady?
Tampa Bay.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. They traded for Gronk. It's Tampa Bay.
So, with Gronk there, we talked about this the other day. Rob, I don't know if you heard this. Gronk is currently the 24/7 champion in the WWE.
The greatest thing that could happen, guys, was for him to hold that title until opening day. He catches a pass,
right?
Gets tackled,
right?
And one of the WWE wrestlers takes off a helmet, and it's one of them, and they pin him 1, 2, 3. That'd be the greatest moment in sports ever.
So what I was thinking, Robbie, is that if Vince McMahon is smart, he tells nobody to pin him or whatever, right?
Right.
And then he pays whoever they're paying in round one in the first game, someone on the defense, $500,000, $1 million. If you tackle Gronk and hold him down, and one of your teammates, you gotta pin him out. We'll give you $1 million for it. That would be I agree with you. They need to tie it in somehow like that.
That'd be incredible.
Is he announcing the pick or is he just talking?
I think it's 22 and you.
I think he's just talking.
It's his charity or program that he's trying to
Christian
launch.
McCaffrey's promoting his charity. Yeah, Rob, I'm excited to see. I hope they just don't. This is too big of an opportunity.
That's exactly right.
To do something fun, funny, viral with Gronk in a way to get him, whether it's a teammate, even in training camp, that would be hilarious.
Here's what you need to have happen, Kevin.
Hey, Rob, they could do a wrestler in training camp. That could be a setup.
What if you get it so Tom Brady pins it?
And make Brady the champion.
And
I said Tom Brady could do it. He doesn't have Belichick underneath him anymore.
That's it. Tom Brady is now could be your 24/7 champion.
Huh?
Matt Rule just don't even look natural right now.
If Brady won the 24/7 title, would that put him past Jordan on the pantheon of greatest athletes of all time?
He ain't nowhere close. He ain't even the same name as Jordan. Stop.
Jordan wouldn't have a
Stop
WWE
it.
That's it.
championship.
Jordan couldn't hit a fastball, but Tom
boy.
Brady has the championship. I mean,
Tom
come on.
Brady's got
That's
a belt.
Stop it.
Rasheed Wallace has got a belt.
Stop it.
We still talking about the pick scene.
The pick is finally in. All right,
We'll see if
Chris.
they even do this. We'll see if they announce it now.
It's gonna
All
be
right.
Let's
Simmons.
find out.
Chris,
It's gonna
do
be
it with us.
Simmons.
There's Goodell.
Boo.
They took
What?
Derek Brown.
wow.
Derek Brown.
That's dumb pick.
All right.
You got Isaiah right there. You got him right there. You got Simmons right there. I think Simmons is a better pick than
I
Brown.
don't think you'll go wrong with either one.
I've
of
been
those.
saying Brown for weeks since I seen that picture.
What?
Well, you should have seen the picture. Like, I'm gonna find it online for the folks that can see it. It was Marty Herney looking at Derek Brown at the draft, and so Chris from Sugar Hill, Georgia, nicknamed Baby Barack due to his political aspirations. Father James has served in the Army and National Guard. That's what the TV says. What do you say about your brand new defensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers? Last year, 31st in scoring. The run defense was Swiss cheese-ish.
He'll help us, and I think he'll help us right away. So as I said, either Brown or Simmons, I'm good. I'm good with it.
All right. Anything? Any big predictions or anything else going forward here, Chris? Before we say goodbye to you for a little while, I may come back to you at some point.
Well, as we talked about on Monday, don't be surprised if San Francisco and the Patriots might do a trade for one of those first-round picks that the Niners have.
Garoppolo back to New England.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that San Francisco might do one of them picks to New England, and New England might draft a quarterback. I'm saying that's a maybe.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it, Chris. We might get back to you in a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, watching. But feel free to send us some more messages, and how you have a good evening over there.
Okay, you too.
All right, buddy. That's Chris Nelson.
All right.
He joins us on Saturday on the podcast sometimes on Mondays and Wednesdays. Really nice guy. Chris is your go-to man when as far as like sports stats off the top of your head. Just amazing what he can do. All right, so Derek Brown, they're showing highlights for you Panthers fans. Like I said, your defense was 31st in scoring last year. This will help. Marty Herney is not a big fan favorite here in the Carolinas, but is this a good one? Rob, what do you think about? We heard Will. He's ready. Will says terrible.
That's terrible.
It's not a
That's
terrible
terrible.
pick. It's not a terrible
Well,
pick.
my thing is,
if you would, Tom has moved out of his screen again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
guys, my thing is for the Panthers.
He's in a spot he's never even been before.
As a team, what have they always built that defense around? It's always been around that linebacker. That linebacker has been the face of that defense for so many years. You had a chance to replace Luke Kuechly, who with
I
a
don't
guy.
think Isaiah Simmons could have been a
not.
replacement for
I
Luke.
think
Oh, you got in your
Isaiah
mind?
Simmons will be a consistent Pro Bowl player in the league.
Absolutely.
To me, I don't think he replaces Luke Kuechly. I don't think now, and this has nothing against Isaiah Simmons is probably a very smart player, but I don't think he necessarily is the quarterback that you got in Luke Kuechly. And he doesn't play the same position. Luke Kuechly's inside linebacker. You got an outside linebacker / edge rusher in Isaiah Simmons who can play in slot cornerback position
Yeah, I
and a
was gonna say,
safety.
yeah.
So the question really to me that's been around Isaiah Simmons, I'm not surprised nobody moves away from him because defensive coordinators don't know what the hell to do with him.
That would be a great problem to have if I was a
You got that
defensive
right.
coordinator.
Look,
That's an
fine.
awesome problem to have if
That's
I'm a
fine.
defensive coordinator.
But I'll say this as well. I'm just surprised Carolina didn't take him because he's a Clemson boy. I'm so surprised they didn't just look right down the street and say, we're going to take a hometown favorite. Someone that's been talked about as probably one of the biggest freaks in Asia to come through the combine.
And
surprised they didn't
that's
do
another
that.
thing, Hunter. I think you've got a chance to take what is a legitimate pick, as well as keep a fan base
Right.
really happy because you got to put behinds in seats and sell tickets once we finally get all this behind us with this virus.
I think this is an offensive tackle for the Cardinals.
Boo. Tom, you don't want to boo.
There
What
he
do you-
goes. There he goes.
Isaiah Simmons.
Look how quick that changed.
That just ruined my night.
That ruined
There he
everything.
goes.
Is that what you wanted, Tom? That means offensive tackle to Cleveland.
I wanted Simmons.
I would have never guessed that the Arizona Cardinals, who have Matador as offensive lineman, didn't think about protecting Kyler Murray a little bit more, and they went defense. Look, he might be probably the best available, but still, I'm like, yeah,
That-
they did. I don't think they drafted.
That's not
the
a. I knew he wasn't going past 7.
That's a huge to me, guys. That's a that he dropped to them.
Yeah,
That's a
that
great
changed
pick
their
for
whole
Arizona.
mind.
It
That
sure
was-
did.
that-
Their
yeah.
whole draft board
That-
changed.
They
when
could have
Simmons
got
was still
Brown
on the
in the
board.
second round.
Derek Brown in the second round?
Yes.
No.
No way.
No.
Derek
I
Brown's
can't
number
agree on that
defensive
one.
Tackle in the draft.
Well, what's in that cup in there, man?
I don't know.
I don't have a cup. I got
Man,
straight
you gotta
Coca-Cola.
Who had him
He
drop
played
into
at
the second round?
Auburn, dude.
Nobody had him drop into the second round, Will.
He played at
Nobody had
Auburn.
him-
That was
nobody had him
this is a
drop.
crazy pick. It was a crazy pick.
Now, I'll say this, Derek Brown's not even my favorite defensive tackle. In the
How about this, guys? What if they would have took Simmons and then Kinlaw out of South Carolina? Now there's your second round.
Javon Kinlaw is my favorite defensive tackle in the draft.
I think he's a guy that I think
It's not Derek Brown.
he's gonna be one of those guys that's gonna keep sliding down the board, and then people are gonna realize they really messed up by not getting him.
That's a big boy at DT.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if he look, I'm telling you right now, if the Packers can grab Javon Kinlaw, that is a big run stopper right there in the middle. You won't have to worry about San Francisco gashing you again.
Man, that's the draft board says some of them did have Simmons dropping a 10, but it looks like, Will, you were right on that he was not going to be there by 10. You almost got there, Will. He was almost.
I'm just shocked. Arizona.
I'm surprised
didn't
that
think about protecting Kyler Murray more.
There's plenty of offensive linemen that they can pick up in the second round. It's plenty.
That's why I think the Giants' pick was too high with an offensive line.
I agree with you, but I do like the Giants' pick. I'm not taking nothing away from it.
Not at 4.
Maybe not at 4, but
they maybe could have.
I do like that guy.
They could have milked that pick for some more picks.
Absolutely.
If they put it up for trade.
Do I think he would have went before the second round though? Is that the biggest thing? Would he got out of the first round without him getting picked? And I don't think he'd have got out of the first round.
But if you move away from that 4th, you're more than likely getting somebody else's first round pick. So there he's still sitting waiting on it.
Right.
I don't know, because it's one of those things too where it's like, you might have not wanted to take him there at 4, but that was a safe pick at the same time because he's going to come in there and produce and be a surefire starter. And that's what I think everybody wants is they know they're going to get a guy that they think is the best at that position. And they might have been afraid that a Cleveland, if they traded back farther than 10, might have taken the guy that they loved. So, I don't know.
Well, Cleveland need 2 things, linebacker and offensive line.
I think you really do need linebacker in like the second round.
Here's the notes on Derek Brown. Brown is an excellent run defender who tracks the ball well, chases with great effort, and finishes as a tackler. Might never develop into an elite pass rusher, but he's a developing hand fighter who's highly disruptive in that area. He's versatile enough to play on the inside in a 4-man front or on the outside in a 3-man front. Brown has long arms and quick with excellent top end speed for his size. And for you folks watching online, here is the picture of Marty Herney in love with Derek Brown. He just look at that. Just look at him. He just look at that face. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna draft you. You're gonna be my lineman. There. So I've been saying for weeks after seeing that picture, Will, that's who they're going for. Just looking at Marty Herney's smile. Right there with Derek Brown at the combine. So that's the notes on Brown. Looking over at the next pick, Simmons in Arizona. Simmons is still developing his recognition and take-on skills, but he's a physical freak and one of the most versatile defenders in the draft. Athletic enough to match up with tight ends, an explosive pass rusher, and excels at spying quarterbacks. His interception against Ohio State, Tom, in the college football championship playoff is a testament to his range and ball skills. He's a sideline-to-sideline run defender. It didn't have Tom in that sentence, but I just want to make sure you heard that.
Yeah, I did hear it. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that a lot.
They were mentioning you. I just want to make sure you knew.
Yeah, I know.
Jaguars up next. Tom, we're 1 pick away from
Jordan
the Brownies.
Love.
All the defenders are gone.
They're going to get a tackle.
All the top defenders.
Or that
Jordan
might be the
Love.
first trade because they could trade back and get a tackle and maybe get a free second round.
And I
say
tell you,
Jordan
Tom, you're talking about the possibility of Cleveland trading. I
Somebody-
did hear that today.
Somebody mute Will's mic in there after that one.
They could trade, Robbie. They could trade and still get a tackle
And-
like in the mid-20s.
You could trade
you-
trade us that pick, and we'll give you Trent Williams
You're,
right
you're
now.
sitting there at
Yeah, I bet
15.
you would. I bet
The
you
talk
would.
this week, and these
No,
2
y'all get the
teams.
So you're gonna lose your best offensive lineman.
These 2 teams
fine
have worked
with it.
together a lot,
You don't wanna be there
and
no
that
more.
is Cleveland and Philadelphia. The Eagles want that top wide receiver something awful. Do the Eagles trade the 21st and their second to the Browns
To get
for
up
that
there.
10th to get the wide receiver?
That
It
would,
depends on how bad they want Judy. Because I think that's the first one taken
Yep.
is Judy.
see, and Cleveland's not going to take a wide receiver because
You're
they've got
loaded.
money. Yeah,
Now,
that's
wait
right.
a minute. Cleveland takes Judy, trades Beckham for Williams.
Well, I guess that could be a scenario.
Mm.
That ain't going to happen.
Oh,
It'd
we
be
wanna-
funny if it happened tomorrow because then Kevin would tweet out again, I influenced everybody listening to me.
Hey, you know what? Deal.
You like it?
Deal.
I'm sure you would.
You got it. Deal. You got Scary Terry on one side, OBJ on another, Kelvin Harmon, whoever we get at the tight end position.
What if they just went ahead and picked
we
Judy?
get Trent Williams out of the building because he doesn't even want to be there anyways, and we don't have to pay him the money that he wants.
Why doesn't he
I'm
want to
fine
be
with it.
there? What's
He
his
doesn't
problem?
trust our front office, even though we fired everybody, and he doesn't
okay.
trust our training staff, even though we replaced everybody.
Okay.
He's just pissed and wants money.
Okay.
So he don't want to be there. So to me, it's like,
diagnosed with a brain tumor and they missed.
look, I'm not gonna sit here and defend. I'm not gonna sit here and defend how how Callahan, took care of that situation. I think they did Trent Williams wrong, and he has every right to be mad. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, okay, you can be a whiny crybaby, and expect us to pay you all this money.
It was
So just-
a brain tumor.
I know that.
That is a pretty big miss.
Look, I know that, and I said I don't think that Washington handled it correctly. So if he wants to leave, leave. But don't sit out and demand us to give you more money for you to play. I'm like, no, we'll just move you.
Mr. Brain Tumor is
And then he asked for a trade, and they're hee-hawing about it.
I know. I know, and see, that's what makes me so mad about it. It's like, he ain't gonna set foot on the field for you anyways. Why would you not move him?
Y'all could have already dealt with this instead of taking the bad publicity with it too.
Shannon's tweeting in saying that he's officially in the transfer portal. He's going to abandon his team over that pick. Come on, Shannon.
Oh.
It's not that bad.
Well, Shannon's a Clemson fan.
Oh.
He wanted Simmons out
They
of
wanted
the
something bad, I bet.
Jacksonville.
Boo.
Jordan Love.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that pick.
Defensive back
There we
C.J. Henderson from
That's not
Florida.
bad.
The Cleveland Browns are on
They did
the
have
clock.
a CB to pick up. So they did pick up
They
something
needed
that
to
they
replace
needed.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't think he ever
wait a
will,
minute.
but-
Hold. Watch how we say that, because you can't ever replace Jamie Rams.
They
Jalen
had to
Ramsey.
fill.
They had to
what
fill
Jalen
that
Ramsey
spot.
was.
Yeah.
Because I
There's
had
no
a lot-
replacing
I had
what
a
they
lot of
lost
picks
there.
like that on my mock draft. I put in quotation marks aside, need to fill such and such. Like I could see Baltimore drafting a center because Yonda retired. Like they got to fill a spot. It's just one of those things where it's like if you fill for need, I get it. I get the pick. That's fine. I think Jacksonville did a good job here. He's not going to be Jalen Ramsey.
No.
He also won't be the headache that Jalen was down there too. So that's what.
If you play that good in football, you can be a headache all day
I know
long.
it's the prime time thing. It's like
The
Deion
Browns
and-
picks
and
already
T-
I was about to say the Browns pick's already in.
They ran up to the podium, Tom. No trade
They
here.
traded it. They traded. Nah.
Ain't no trade here. The pick is in. Who we going, Tom? Judy?
No. they're
Why
going-
not go Judy and just say, y'all guard this? I mean, really.
Because they need a tackle.
That's
bad.
right, I know.
They need offensive line back.
They could pick. They got 6 more picks. Pick 6 of them. Surely
Yeah.
5
Well,
of them
here,
to play.
if you're going offensive lineman, which one are you taking? Are you taking the one out of Alabama? Everybody's saying, or are you going to take Tristan
The
Wirfs?
kid out of Iowa. is
I
the
think-
kid
yeah,
that
this
they
was
had a
him.
lot of had rated the highest.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, I thought Wirfs was going to be gone before Andrew Thomas, and since Andrew Thomas was the first offensive lineman taken,
Well, I mean, Browns. If they didn't, unless they wanted Thomas and thought he was their best, then they get whatever they want here, Tom. As far as tackle wise, is that the best player still on the board? Or are the tackles? Is anybody else?
It's hard.
Who is the best available up there? Hunter, did you see that a second ago?
I missed it.
I'll
I
pull it up.
can keep looking though. This is going to go through. We'll probably do that because this is pick 10. When it's finished picking, we'll just
Right.
recap the first
Yeah.
10 picks.
And we'll just recap. Bell's
ESPN best available is Judy. Jedrick Willis, the tackle from Alabama.
That's who
Ken
I'd
Law
take.
from South Carolina, the defensive tackle. Then CeeDee Lamb and Ruggs, the wide receivers. Becton from Louisville, who got up to $395 in the offseason. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver. Wirfs at 8, a tackle. Xavier McKinney is safety at 9. Tom, we need a safety.
I think
I
your
mean, that's
defensive
something
backs are
else.
good.
Yeah, because they
Patrick
do need, they do need a
McQueen
sa- no,
is that
no, they
inside
need a
linebacker.
safety. They do also need a safety.
Oh, cool.
Can't believe they gave that kid a script to read. He wants to announce that pick so bad, and he's reading a lot.
Yeah, they gave him a huge.
I want to thank everybody for watching online. This is the KTC Broadcasting Shock Joxx live draft watch party at the KTC Broadcasting Studios.
That's nice.
Bring you some,
That's real nice.
hopefully some fun.
I won't boo now.
Tom Calvin says Panthers should have taken Simmons.
I mean, they could have went either way. I mean, really, I don't think they lost.
All right, here comes Goodell.
But it
Yeah,
goes
that's
back
that.
to Alabama.
Yeah, that's the guy I would have took.
I really wonder.
He was
why
number
Wirfs
was
is
number
falling.
2 on the board, behind the wide receiver. So the Browns go with the tackle. He'll be coming to block from Alabama for Baker Mayfield. Willis is a mauler and natural finisher with the power to move defenders in the run game. He's an easy knee bender with a powerful punch who rarely gives ground and pass protection. He oversets at times but has enough balance and agility to stay in front of defenders when his footwork is sound. Willis grades out as a plug-and-play starter at right tackle, but he also could kick inside to guard if needed. Position rank number 1, overall rank 893 grade. Tom, what do you think about your new
I like it.
tackle?
I mean, there were several that they could have gotten, but this is something they need. Mayfield was running for his life the entire season last season. So
Yep.
I think they'll probably try to go get maybe another offensive lineman in this draft too. But I think it's a solid pick. It's like I talk with Hunter all the time. It's who can help my team right now. Chase Young is going to make such an immediate impact for the Redskins. I think this is going to have an immediate impact for the Browns as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make the playoffs, that's what you want to do is draft players that can play now as opposed to, maybe in 3 years we'll be pretty good. But they're showing highlights right now. He's played guard and tackle in the highlights here on the right side. So maybe so that's what the Browns go with the tackle. Going forward then, Tom, now that you know they went there, rest of the draft, what do you think the Browns need to fill what holes now going forward?
Well, they're talking about getting it. They need to get a linebacker, and I'm glad Hunter brought up safety. They lost the safety to free agency, and another one they bring back. There's a couple things they do need safety. They really haven't had one. Last year they had a lot of injuries in the defensive secondary, cornerbacks and safety. So, and it's a place where you can never be deep enough. So I see him going out and getting a safety. They got to get a linebacker somewhere too. Now they know they signed one from Green Bay because they lost Kirksey, they lost Schobert, both left. So they definitely need that. So I expect them to go defense with their next picks.
All right, that means the Jets are on the board. Guys, that's the first time since 2015 we have not had a trade in the top 10 picks.
Really? I like it.
Is that because of the situation? Or,
It might be,
you
yeah.
can't
That's
make
a good
as many
point.
moves?
It's a good point.
What is that the reason? Is people like, maybe I don't have time to get into something else. I'd rather do this. I feel good about this guy. Let's just do this and be safe and don't F this up. Don't mess up the cha-cha, Robbie.
Well,
Don't mess up the
and the thing we're
cha-cha.
going to see now, guys, is going to be a run on wide receivers. This is when it starts.
Okay.
Right here.
Have we had one selected?
No.
We haven't had one selected
Not
have
yet.
we?
So you think New York needs a wide receiver?
You run on receivers, I believe, starts right here. CD Lamb goes off the board right here.
CeeDee Lamb or Judy?
I think CD Lamb goes first.
Judy's one on the ESPN big board, if that means anything to you. Lamb is a few spots down. Lamb's at 4. Well, now 3 because the tackle just got picked.
Who's the
Willis.
corner? Who's
They,
the
they may
quarterback?
have their big boards, but they don't have the yellow legal pad.
Oh, that's it.
You
Look
got
at
you want to
this.
come. You want to come and get some real information. Go to the yellow legal pad.
Yes,
no
sir.
computers, nothing like that.
What does that yellow legal pad say about Jimmy Clausen? Then we're going.
Somebody's
going to
retire.
Then we'll know where we stand with Mel Kiper and Rob here. What was the scouting report for Clausen?
I wouldn't have took him.
Hey, let's do this. Let's go back over to the top 10.
All right, go ahead, Hunter. You know him?
By heart, I could probably get pretty close. The first overall pick, I think, was a gimme for everybody. The Cincinnati Bengals took Joe Burrow out of LSU, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Second pick overall, held by the Washington Redskins, was taken Chase Young,
And that's
defensive end out of
that's
Ohio
all
State.
he remembers.
And that's
all-
it.
He just
That's all that matters.
into the draft.
No, the Lions at 3 took cornerback Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State. The
All right.
Giants at 4. It's easy because there were no trades. It's
Right.
pretty easy. 4, the Giants took offensive tackle Andrew Thomas. 5, the Miami Dolphins took Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback from Alabama. 6, Justin Herbert to the Chargers from Oregon. 7, the Carolina Panthers took Derek
Missed
Brown.
it again.
You missed, huh?
They missed it again.
They missed it again. They missed it again. Yeah, because you thought they would take the guy that now the Cardinals took at 8.
Shannon and
Isaiah
7.
Simmons.
At 7. Shannon and Calvin wanted Simmons, but yeah, at 8. Sorry,
Yeah.
Shannon and Calvin both wanted Simmons. Said Simmons as well. So everyone is on the Simmons train except Chris. Felt fine with Derek Brown, and Marty Herney. I showed you his picture. He feels 100% fine with
Yep.
Derek Brown.
C.J. Henderson then goes to Jacksonville at 9, and Tristan Wirfs. I'm sorry, no, that's not Wirfs. It's Willis. What was his first name? Willis.
Jedrick.
No, the Willis.
Jedrick.
Willis, the offensive tackle from Alabama, goes to the Cleveland Browns at 10. So that rounds up the first 10 picks of the NFL draft so far. Like Kevin said, what was it? No
2015.
No trades. It's the first time since 2015, so it's been 5 years. No
All right,
trades in the top 10.
Let's go through some tweets and info while they send these picks in. Some stuff that folks might not have.
I'm going out on a limb here.
online.
I'm going out on a limb. I think this is an offensive lineman.
Let's see.
Yeah, they thought that the Jets, this board had Brown going, who's already gone.
Said San Francisco could be looking to trade out at 13.
What's the yellow paper saying there about the Jets pick?
Let's see. Legal pad. I'm telling you, legal pad says CD Lamb.
Says
Let's see
CD
what happens.
I thought that was on the last one.
No, that was
Yeah,
no.
this is for the Jets. CD
Just
Lamb
for
for
the Jets.
Okay.
CD
I
Lamb.
got
I think
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we fix to see 3 wide receivers
I got
go
your
off the
back,
board.
boss.
CD
I'm-
Lamb, then Jerry Judy will be next, and then Henry Ruggs will be after that. 3 straight wide receivers go right here.
Do they need Las Vegas don't need a receiver.
Yeah, they do. I think they really do. I could see the Jets going with Henry Ruggs. Or not the Jets, the Raiders.
The
going with
Raiders.
Ruggs.
Well, Jets is up. Then the Raiders.
I've heard people say they
Then
wouldn't be
the
surprised
Niners.
if Ruggs was the first wide receiver taken.
Yeah.
Just because of how fantastic his combine
And that's the 3 with those. To me, those 3 guys.
It's them and
Yeah,
everybody
it's
else.
them and everybody else when you go to wide receiver.
Here's Skip Bayless's take on the Panthers. I would have gone Isaiah Simmons, but
Of course
I
he would've
cannot-
had.
I cannot fault the Panthers for taking Derek Brown, 326 pounds of quick, powerful game wrecker at defensive tackle. When I watched Auburn, number 5 leaped off my screen because he was virtually unblockable.
Well, thank you, Skip. I'm glad we all loved your take.
I like Skip.
You like Skip?
No, I don't like Skip.
Let's say, really?
No, I was just joking.
All right, Jets, your pick's been in for 45 minutes. Let's
I mean,
announce that
it's
thing.
not on the Jets now. It's on the.
It's on
Roger.
the
How about
television.
say it should be on the? We should be the next
There you
pick.
go.
Boo. Back to the
Wow.
lineman from
Good
Louisville,
call.
the
Good
Hunter.
call.
Whoa! Oh
They got
my!
Good call.
They gotta take a lineman. They gotta protect.
Oh my!
They gotta protect Sam Darnold. If it's not from defensive players, it's from mono.
Well, he only got up to about 395 this offseason, Will.
Listen, he come from good stock.
I know who that dude is. That's Big Boy. Oh, there's a belly on
He
him.
looked like Christopher Big Black.
He didn't steal it. He got it honest.
Are you saying he was not adopted, Will?
Oh no, sir.
Beckton, big old boy, 6'7", 365.
I think he had the fastest combine though of the offensive linemen. Oh my
Hey,
God!
listen, it's like
Could you
watching it's like
imagine
watching
handling
Big
him-
Baby play.
There he is.
Could you imagine handling him in high school?
You just
in
got
the
to box
post?
him out, Hunter.
Good God!
Oh my!
They can't, they did not
Look at
let
this,
they
look
did
at
not let him dunk on them.
I mean, I know it says 5'1", but that's moving for 365 pounds, man. That's burning the
I
trail.
would say he was 0.2 away from being sub 5.
Not bad. Big old fella. He is
God, he's big, man.
let me
Look
read
at
his
him.
Beckton is a rare combination of size, length, and speed, experience in lining up at left and right tackle, has the power to move down linemen off the ball and race linebackers. What did he do?
He just wasted that guy from Florida State.
Yeah. He has the frame and athletic ability to develop into an elite pass blocker, heavy hands, and knocks defenders off balance. That's your Mekhi Becton scouting report. The Raiders are on the board, so Rob.
Wide receiver. I said the next 3 picks are gonna be wide receiver. It's got to start sometime. Look, I'll be pleased if a receiver stays around till
I'll
pick
tell you what.
20, 21, and
This will probably be Judy.
They
This will
predicted.
probably be Jerry Judy.
The board I had the Raiders taking Henderson, who's already off the board. So.
Because Mike Mayock said last year before they went into that draft, all you got to do is draft Alabama and Clemson players, and you've got pro-ready players. It wouldn't surprise me if he takes anybody from Alabama, Clemson, and even LSU, the amount of NFL players they had on their team.
oh yeah.
Good God, lift them knees,
Look
boy.
at this.
What about Ohio State there?
Look,
Come on,
I
man.
don't know.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Really, the top 3 were Ohio State because Joe Burrow really learned how to play football.
But he got that. They got that chip. At
He didn't get
LSU.
good till he got to LSU. Stop
He got
it.
that chip at LSU.
Stop it.
Southern
He learned how to
Southern
play it on
Sunshine does a lot for you.
Let
So
me tell you something.
Southern Sunshine does do a lot for you.
And he did it against elite NFL talent all across the board. So
I highly
think
recommend.
about it. He put 40 plus on Nick
It would be a
Saban's
shame.
Alabama
It would be
defense.
a shame for me to be sitting there and being an Ohio State fan and saying we was dumb enough to let him get out from up there. We was gonna start somebody over the top of him.
See,
hindsight's 2020, my friend.
Joe Burrow got beat out by Dwayne Haskins, and Dwayne Haskins threw 50 touchdown passes that year. So he had like the best quarterback year in the Big Ten.
Yep.
I don't know, because it's easy for us to say that now, though.
No, but quit trying to claim him now. He's an LSU guy.
I'm just saying, I'm not claiming him. He's
No,
there were
you
two and
claim
a
him.
half, 2.5 Buckeyes drafted in the top 3.
Two and a half.
2.5.
He was there for-
No, he's LSU
He was
all the
there,
way.
what, 2 years?
I know you guys didn't hear, but I was just listening that Goodell butchered Tua's last name.
What did he say? How did he say it?
I can play it and see if we might be able to hear.
Look at Mike Mayock.
Listen.
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua tucking my flower.
I'm not going to judge him because I would have.
I would have messed it up too. So
That's why I always call him Tua.
Yeah.
But you know, I do laugh at him, Tom. This is he gets paid $40 million
You're
a
right.
year,
That's a good
You're
point.
right.
and at some point somebody said you probably should learn how to pronounce that guy's name because he's going to be picked.
You're right.
Not that he's
And
not going
he's
to
a
be
top-
there for the second
and
round.
he's
but-
like a face of this draft, too. He's like the most talked about player in the draft.
I would have probably called him Taggy Valiola. I would have screwed it up. I
The
can't
first
judge.
draft pick by the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, me, Jerry Judy.
Wow.
Took Henry.
Took Henry Ruggs as the first wide receiver.
is that their third best wide receiver?
I said
Well, I
predicted mid
Oh,
first.
CeeDee
I
Lamb
think
went to
that-
Oklahoma. I was thinking.
the top 3, those 3 wide receivers could fall, I think, in any order.
I said I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen people say Ruggs could be the first wide receiver taken off this board. Then who's going to take? Wait, the Bronx? No, I think San Francisco might trade out of this pick. I don't know.
Ruggs was 4th on the board.
I'm gonna tell you what. If San
Third
Francisco,
wide
if
receiver on
San
the board.
Francisco holds this pick and takes Jerry Judy to replace what Emmanuel Sanders was, then I'm saying they could go
Yeah.
back to the Super Bowl.
Yep, absolutely.
And I know some people say wide receivers don't make that big of a difference. They arguably will have the best wide receiver in the draft to go along with Kyle Shanahan's play calling. Well, come on.
What?
So they go Henry Ruggs. Gruden, that's the guy he wants. Of all the receivers, now remember, guys, this pick will be judged for years to come.
Yep.
Yes.
Because everyone is talking about how deep this draft is. Gruden, of course, makes the pick, which means, so that's extra publicity on it. So this will be judged for years to come, this exact pick, whether Ruggs is a success or not, and whether Gruden.
Oh my.
That was pretty nasty.
Oh, God, his boy's got flight.
At 5'11", he's doing that at 5'11".
100-meter dash champion.
So Henry Ruggs.
That's John Gruden is taking the Kansas City approach like they got Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Watching highlights of Ruggs.
I'll say this. I mean, Alabama hasn't really produced a stinker at wide receiver. Not yet.
I don't
Julio
think
Jones,
he's a
Calvin
stinker. I'm
Ridley.
just surprised that it wasn't Judy.
Why do
I'm that way.
Does it surprise y'all that these good receivers even go to Alabama, considering they've never really had good passing? I mean, they really haven't had that many good quarterbacks come through there. And
Alabama for years
they get to
has
study
ran the rock.
Right. So if you're a receiver, you think you maybe went to maybe somewhere else different or something through the years. Especially like Oklahoma and everything in the Big 12 and Pac-12. Let me read you Ruggs. Scouting report is still developing as a route runner, but he has the elite speed to pull away after the catch and threaten vertically. He confidently plucks balls out of the air and is a smooth transitioning upfield. He's an alpha dog with surprising strength and toughness that shows up in his blocking and how he covers kicks. Ruggs has the tools to win a starting return job as a rookie. I read a lot of that there and how tough he is. 5'11", 188. Robbie, is that Steve Smith?
That's a good comparison.
Yeah,
That's a good comparison.
I haven't seen him that much. I'm asking you guys.
He is an extremely tough wide receiver for his size. Again, when I look at these three receivers, you can't go wrong if you're drafting wide receiver of any of these three. It was just a matter of who was going to go first.
Okay.
And and again, we know Gruden loves that speed. He loves to see those guys move those feet. So he definitely fits that mold for what I think Gruden sees the Raiders as being.
All right, so now on the board is San Francisco. Will, if you're the Niners, who are you picking to help you beat the Packers next year?
If they just gonna leave him out there for me, I'm either going Jefferson or Judy right here.
I totally forgot. I had my mock draft on my phone. I had sent a picture of it off of a computer screen to a buddy of mine.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Breaking
Hunter
news.
Well, how have you fared so far, sir?
Probably pretty good.
You got the first three right.
If he took any chances, he didn't.
Yeah,
if he's watching,
look, because I'll tell you this. I had it where it was the Dolphins trade to 3 to take Tua. They took Tua
They
anyways.
took
at
two
5.
anyway.
And I had the Lions take Okuda at 5. They took Okuda anyways at 3. I had the Giants taking Wirfs. They didn't, but they took an offensive lineman. So that's pretty close. At 9, I had the Panthers taking Isaiah Simmons. I had the Cardinals taking a tackle. And I had the Jaguars taking Derek Brown. And then that all went to crap after that. And then I had the Browns taking Andrew Thomas.
49ers with a pick. Guy still on the board. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Defensive tackle Kinlaw of South Carolina. Wide receivers Lamb of Oklahoma. Jefferson of LSU. Who Will says they should go after. Tackle
who's got
Wharfs,
the pick right now?
San Francisco. Tackle Wharfs from Iowa is available. McKinney at Alabama, a safety. The number 1 running back on the board is DeAndre Swift from Georgia.
Well,
Chase On of LSU, defensive end. Jordan Love, Utah State, probably not going there. Patrick Queen, LSU linebacker, and Ezra Cleveland, your offensive tackle. The top defensive tackle on the board is Ross Blaylock, TCU. No, that was South Carolina's Kinlaw. Sorry.
the 49ers, I have the 49ers right here. And the guy I had them drafting still on the board. I had them drafting Javon Kinlaw because they just traded DeForest Buckner away, the defensive tackle they had to Indianapolis. So this was one I had was like...
Still no trade, so that's interesting, isn't it? Still no trade.
And I wonder about that, Tom.
He's saying the Bucks are moving up 1 spot to pick the tackle Brady wants.
So the Bucks have traded or no?
That's
what
pretty
it
much
looks
what
like.
he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, 49ers trade pick.
1 spot back.
Okay, there's the trade. Right on cue.
So the first trade of the night, 13th pick. 49ers switch 1 spot with the Bucks, I'm guessing the Bucks threw in a later round draft pick, 6th or 7th, Hunter, something like that, for one spot. So
probably.
it can't be too much for one spot in the draft, so the Bucks can get. San Francisco wanted to trade out. I guess they couldn't find anybody.
If
but
they're
one spot.
wanting a tackle here, is it not Wirfs?
I
Is
think
this
so.
not when Wirfs comes off the board? I think he's fallen tremendously.
I see the only tackle left. Yeah, because 3 have went.
3 out of the top 4.
So obviously they're
what,
playing.
What did San Francisco say? We're going to take this guy and let you trade us. That's what they had to have said. They just swapped spots. That's all they did.
Right. They can say we can take him, or
Did
someone
they
else,
swap
or
spots,
someone
or
else.
did they just give
they-
up that spot?
Or someone else
it's
called
still
and
showing
said-
that Tampa Bay has the 14th spot.
Tampa might have called and said, "Hey, has anyone called about Wirfs?" Now are they swapping those picks?
And that
or
may
is
be
something else?
what it was. They found out that another team was ready to move into that spot
Right.
to get him.
Interesting.
Let's see what Shefty tweeted out.
No. Okay. there it
San
is.
Francisco is getting 14 and 117. Wherever 117 adds up, about
Third round, isn't it? Third or fourth?
I think it is
fourth.
a third or
Fourth.
fourth pick. Look
Not-
at Bruce.
there's 96 picks, I guess, in the first 3 rounds.
Okay, they just swap spots.
Bruce Arians
That's not-
enjoying that nice humid night down there in Tampa Bay, Florida.
There's no humidity in Florida. Is there?
That's not too bad to drop back one spot and get a 4th.
Fourth
That's
pick.
that's pretty good trade on San Francisco's part.
I mean, Tampa obviously wanted that kid and had to have him and wanted to make sure with the other tackles going off the board. Do you think they'd do that
they
if,
think
if
they-
one of the other tackles was available?
They think that. Do you think they thought that Tampa Bay was gonna? I mean that San Francisco gonna pick a tackle?
Maybe, and like me and Rob was just talking, maybe another team.
I think that's what it
trying
was.
To trade up.
I
And
think
they-
it was another team involved.
the best pick they could get is one spot behind them, so they moved back maybe one. You know, I don't know. Maybe someone in the 20s or something was trying to get up and get it, and they called Tampa and say, "Hey, this is what they offered." And Tampa's like, "Well, crap."
Yeah, see, my pick,
Something like
he
that. I don't know.
He
I'm
went too
speculating.
early. I had Tampa Bay staying put and taking C.J. Henderson, just defense, build up that defense for a Super Bowl run. But if they want the offensive tackle, take him. Because right now we all know Tampa Bay is in. They're all in. This is win now mode. So if you want to protect Tom just a little bit more, I don't see why not.
Waiting for video.
Huh?
Oh, it went out and then we
okay.
reconnected. We'll be fine.
Gotcha.
We'll be
gotcha.
fine. We'll be fine. Hopefully.
Well, I've got green light here, so
Yeah, I
we
think
should be good.
I think
Folks
we're
watching online got kicked off for a minute. Thanks for coming back and joining us. We're doing a live broadcast here of the NFL draft party here, having some pizza, enjoying ourselves in this Thursday night sportsless spring that we have here. Nothing else to do besides this. I don't see us doing this for an eye race, Hunter, even. But those are pretty exciting. You know, speaking of that, guys, the governor today opened up the race car shops. A couple of these states that do host races are looking to maybe get some racing going. So we could be, from what I've seen online, the most interesting race. And of course, we broadcast racing here on WCSL. Maybe to see who gets the first race to open it up. Daytona, Homestead, Darlington, and Rob, they've mentioned filling spots if they take away Sonoma, California, coming back to the Rock.
Oh, that would be
this year.
incredible. That would be absolutely incredible to do that.
North
I
Wilkesboro is
figured
not
that.
in shape ready for it, but North Wilkesboro is that they're putting it on iRacing. Earnhardt's working on a project trying to get it cleaned up and ready to do something with it, but they're talking about returning to the Rock this year with the modified schedule that Sonoma or one of the other places that may have two may end up losing one, and the Rock could be a filler in one of these states. Because North Carolina, I've never been to the Rock, and I was young when it was going. I just went to Boone when they closed right after they had closed North Wilkesboro. So I didn't get to go to either one of them. I was so close to being old enough to just pretty much drive on my own if I wanted to. So it'd be awesome. They've been doing some truck racing, I think, at the Rock, Rob, and now they're looking. They're talking about it, so we may
And
have it returning.
It may be the best thing that could happen for NASCAR. I mean, to me, when you started leaving those areas, and we can go back and look at the decline of the excitement of NASCAR, but those areas were your heart.
Right.
And I think you saw once you started seeing pieces of that heart come out, that's when you started to see a little bit of decline as far as what NASCAR was doing.
Right, and Rob, but one of the things also is you don't really think about it is NASCAR is a traveling sport. So a lot of the fans were in their RVs and traveled around the South and it's just easy to go 5 hours up the road. We'll park this weekend or 6 hours this way or 8 this way. And when you jump across the country, and a lot of that was due to, I remember when they started going to California, trying to get out with Jeff Gordon. He was the big push on that. And, but yeah, you maybe don't need so many races in certain spots, but the more races where your fans can travel and get around, no matter what they do, some people are going to call it a Southern sport. If that's your idea of getting rid of that stigma, then that's not going to, that ain't doing anything, and it hasn't yet. But yeah, the easier it is to travel to the things, I think that it's hard to get, like, say, hey, we're going to go to Montana or California or wherever, and then 100,000 people show up.
Right.
It's just tough that way, especially with the travel, because you're going to lose all the people from the South that do travel. They're not going across country that way.
And then that Southern mindset of, well, you abandoned me.
Mm-hmm.
I got abandoned by you. Why should I come back to you?
Yeah, that's true too. Nobody to be stubborn now, would they, Rob?
Not in the sunny South.
Not below the Mason-Dixon line. I want to welcome everybody watching online. If you didn't know, we are located in Cherryville, North Carolina, KTC Broadcasting Studios. We have radio stations in Shelby, Lincoln, Cherryville, and I skipped one. Forest City now. The Waggy is online. We do high school sports when they're playing in the four counties. Then we do NASCAR on WCSL. We also do Charlotte Hornets.
I'm sorry.
North Carolina
I'm
Tar
reacting
Heels,
to a replay.
Clemson Tigers, Duke Blue Devil Sports, Carolina Panthers, Charlotte Hornets. Did I miss anybody, Hunter? Did I get everybody?
Got it.
American Legion as well. That season has been canceled. Rob, what do you think about that? Have you heard any words that you talk to anybody in Cleveland County that's talked to anybody about that? There's still maybe possibilities of playing inside the state of North Carolina.
And to me, that's what's going to be interesting, because I thought Bobby Dale made a great point. He's we know we got to kind of stall right now,
right?
But man, we cut this thing off awful early to say it's not going to be played at all. So I love the idea of these Legion squads, kind of getting an idea. And the thing is, guys, and I was thinking about this coming over here. I was at that last Chris Shelby baseball game, and we already knew what was going on. We had already seen conferences starting to close, shut down their tournaments, things like that. Mm-hmm. I knew going into Shelby Stadium, I didn't need to go buddy up beside a bunch of people because of what was going on.
Right.
So that, so are we getting way too far ahead to cut off things like we said with Legion Baseball? Because that is a place where you can enjoy it, you could take care of your players, and the fans, the smart ones, can social distance and still enjoy a game.
Rob, it was weird to me as far as, if, I understand you don't want to play certain sports, basketball probably one of them, mm-hmm. And even if it's baseball you don't want to play, but like you and I agree with Coach Reynolds, I'm 100% on, I think it's too early to make the decisions. The World Series the way they operate, why would they cancel now? Because all they care about is whoever wins the regionals.
That's right.
So if the regionals can have a tournament, then the World Series can have a tournament.
Yeah.
So then I would say look at the regional folks, and then they talk to their state folks, say, well, which states are going to be able to or whatever. And like you said, it's way too early. They don't even play till June. Isn't that when Legion Baseball starts up around here?
Yeah, but do everybody go to regionals?
Into May.
Do everybody go to regionals? Don't you have to win?
Every state has a regional representative. So
right.
Right.
So you would have to have somewhat of a season to figure out who the state champion was.
Exactly. So the states need, and that's what's weird is why would the World Series cancel first as opposed to let's wait and see later on to see if we're going to have people and have states and have teams that could even be in it. And that's just, I think that's what's weird to me and some of the fans and even Coach Reynolds and the gang. And Rob, Philip Russell's in here talking about, Legion and where he's at. And they've only got, from what I counted, was it 112 or 13 teams in the whole state of Florida?
Right.
There's 17 teams in Area 4.
Yes.
So, winning the state of winning Area 4 is just as hard as winning the state of Florida.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of the times people wonder why are these teams so good in the World Series every year. Well, they don't have to beat too many people to get here, as many as these other teams do. To get to the World Series out of Area 4, you got to win the Area 4 playoffs, which is all series, then win the state, then win the regional, then you're in the World Series. And I think it's one of the toughest, things to do is come out of North Carolina.
Absolutely.
As a champion with all the just having to play the series the way you do, and then you've got vacations, you've got kids going to college. Philip and Coach Gene Bullis from Cleveland Community College was in here the other day, and they were talking about he's not a fan, and a lot of people aren't either, Rob, of letting the 19-year-olds play in American Legion, because it those guys are on separate programs and other things anyway. And you're adding them to your rosters, and that causes a lot of, well, now we only got 8 people today, or now we only got 10, or well, you don't know who's going to be where and when, and it upsets or messes with a lot of that. And so,
and to me, Kevin, this was the perfect opportunity for Legion to maybe get a step up on some of these travel leagues,
right?
Things like that. This could have been a big opportunity for Legion to kind of set itself apart from these other things that we've seen that I think have really hurt Legion baseball.
I think you might be hitting on something on that travel thing. Another issue they were talking about was how teams get their players and from what areas, and Gene was talking about, and like some of the Wilmington guys that I went to college with, is that their high school team was their Legion team. So if they didn't have a good high school team, they knew they weren't going to have a good Legion team. So they didn't even really try or bother and care too much. There was 2 teams in Wilmington when they were playing, and they weren't on the one that was really good. So that's what Gene was talking about, as well as you got some schools like Cherville that and they've redone it where you got to pull the ADM numbers, but still you're still pulling from more than 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 schools at a time, and you can do that. And it's like Philip and I was talking, you're getting the best 1 or 2 players from 5 schools is probably better than the best 2 or 3 from 2 schools.
Yep.
I would say a lot of times on these. They got a lot of different things they could do. Rob, I agree with you and Coach Reynolds and a lot of them about it being too early. Tom, you're an umpire. You're highly involved in a lot of this stuff. Too early to make the decision. Should it's as far as the World Series folks go.
I would definitely say yes, but then again, it's easy for me to say yes. It's too early because I don't bear the responsibility for that decision.
Right.
But I think that it was too early.
You were right.
Why not wait? Why not wait till May 1st? Why not wait till May 8th? Why don't we wait till they talked about there's a formula to ease back the social distancing restrictions. Okay, guys, we're going to let you play. You're going to start later. You're going to have to cancel. Cherville likes to play non-league games.
Mm-hmm.
Shelby does. All right, guys, you're basically going to have to play your league schedule, and that's all we'll let you play.
Right.
But I would have liked to see them do that, but at the same time, it's a little easier for me to say I don't bear the responsibility of the decision, but people tend to, I don't know. It's like you want to deal with a crisis, you don't want anything bad to happen, but then you kind of overreact, and overreacting will create a new set of issues. I mean, a lot of these kids, they've lost their senior baseball season already. Their senior year's gone. Now they took Legion away from them too. I mean, and you may have to. I mean, you may have to make that sacrifice, but why not wait? You had plenty of time. Like the World Series, why cancel it now? Why not
Tom,
wait?
if we're going to open up country in the state here in the next week, that's way before June, and then the World Series might be sitting here, maybe ESPN wanted further commitments down the line and stuff like that. Who knows?
Well, let me say this: that Georgia and South Carolina, which are pretty much opening up this weekend, from what I understand, right?
Right.
Let's see what happens. They're going to be the laboratories. I mean, I feel like I'm in a civics lesson here.
You're right, Tom.
That these states are going to be the laboratories. Let's see what happens. If Georgia and South Carolina don't have massive outbreaks.
Listen, the folks in Georgia and South Carolina got good immune systems.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. They drink a lot of white liquor in both those states.
I'm saying there's a lot of.
I'm about to say that'll fight off a lot of stuff.
Hey, they ain't the only ones that drink a lot of white liquor.
You think this is water in this bottle?
Touche.
Just want to say now.
Foothills of North Carolina, Tom. I don't know about you Ohio people.
I guarantee you
In
go up
Ohio,
there.
in Ohio, you don't have to hide. You go to CVS and buy liquor. It's no big deal.
The NASCAR drivers used to deliver it for you. You talking about?
It ain't as
Face
strong
to-
as white liquor though. You ain't that stuff you buy in the store ain't got the same kick
It
as white
doesn't.
liquor do.
It doesn't. So they got the defensive tackle.
Yeah. So Hunter, tell us a little about this fella from South Carolina. I'm gonna pull up his numbers and scouting report.
I mean, Kinlaw. I liked Kinlaw more than I liked Derek Brown for the sole reason of what they were showing just now. The man can bull rush with the best of them. He just lowers his head and absolutely drives back any offensive lineman that was in his way. And I got this one right, even though San Francisco traded a spot back in my mock draft. I had them taking Kinlaw, and they ended up doing it anyways. And it was because they did move off DeForest Buckner. They traded DeForest Buckner to the Colts. That was their big defensive tackle for their great defensive line that they had last year to help with Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa on the edge. I just figured they would fill the hole that he left, and that's exactly what they did.
Cowboys fans, your picks coming up in a few minutes. If I got any Cowboys fans watching online, want to call in here on Facebook or the phones or something.
And the
text,
Atlanta
whatever,
pick
let me
is
know.
you got a Denver pick coming up. I don't know if he's watching.
Yeah.
The thing
But
is,
Matt Chapman from my sports talk, he's a Denver fan.
Okay.
So Matt, if you're watching us live, you can call in with y'all's pick. And I got a couple of folks that are Atlanta fans that are watching the draft and watching our live. So if y'all want to call in with yours on Facebook, call me on Facebook. Call me on
Will.
Facebook.
Wingo looking good in the stripes there. So Kinlaw Hunter has excellent size, long arms, and carries his weight exceptionally well. Potential to develop an elite interior pass rusher. Quick first step, jars offensive lineman on contact and has the quick hands to get off blocks. Kinlaw has the upper body strength to lock out and does a good job of locating the ball as a run defender. Tall for an interior defensive lineman, guys. He's 6'5", and has some problems anchoring when his pads rise, so he has problems staying low. Basically, 6'5", 325 pounds from South Carolina.
I mean, for the Broncos, to me, I had them taking CeeDee Lamb. I had the Broncos taking a wide receiver, give it to a young Drew Lock that they've got at the quarterback position, line him up with Sutton on the outside, the other wide receiver that they have in Denver. So, could this
Do they
be-
take Lamb or do they take Judy?
See, I was about to say, if they take Judy, I'm still going to take it as a win that they took a wide receiver. But
all I
guess it
know,
would just come down to preference. Do you prefer CD or do you prefer Judy?
I don't want Judy to get down to Dallas.
we've got they gonna. My thing is, when I look at what's left right now, as an Eagles fan, knowing I need a wide receiver, if I get through this Broncos pick and they leave one of them, I don't see the other one getting drafted till the Eagles. So I'm trying to keep my excitement a little bit tame
Tom,
here.
Colin Coward says Browns grab his favorite tackle in the draft. So there you go.
Well, it
Coward,
just makes
Coward
me,
says go to Cleveland.
yeah, whatever. He didn't say go Cleveland.
No, he didn't. He said no excuses now.
Yeah, whatever.
More like it. Is that more like it?
Well, if Cowherd gives his little 6-minute segments, he basically
They took
There it
Judy.
goes.
he says the same. Yeah,
Judy to the Broncos.
He basically says the same thing like 20 times. He says the same thing over and over again. It's hard sell. He's like those television commercials back in the 60s and 50s. He just told you the same
Gotta love
thing
it.
over and over.
Gotta love it.
We needed a Goober Powell sounder when he was picked. Judy, 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 Judy. And we didn't have it.
There's
so-
one sitting right in front of Will. He probably has it. I bet. Dad has it up right there. And I don't know about the Judy Powell. I'm pretty sure there's a Gomer Powell. 2 or 3 probably sound like Shazam's probably on there.
Oh, Shazam!
I'm 100% sure that one's on there. And there's another one or two he said there too, Rob. What was that on Twitter about Barney Fife? We made
Oh
that
yeah,
joke
check
about.
this out, guys. This tripped me out. I'm a big Andy Griffith fan. Love the TV show. Flood had it on Netflix. Turn it on. Go check it out. Andy Griffith, guys, now comes with a warning of violence and fear on Netflix before it comes on. You heard correct. And the Andy Griffith Show now has a warning of violence and fear. What society have we ended up in?
They got some pretty intense music when the bad guys are around.
That's a good point.
But
I was trying to figure out though.
I tweeted back to Rob that one bullet up in Barney's pocket was a menace to society. That was the issue.
Well, I started trying to figure out, was Aunt B running a brothel out of the Mayberry Hotel? Gomer and Goober were running drugs through the filling station. I mean, you know,
You just never know.
a lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes
wait
in
a minute.
Mayberry.
Gomer was in the military. He might be a Russian spy.
That's true.
I mean, that might be what it is.
But I thought,
Oh, Lord,
of all
have
of all the
mercy.
programs sitting up with a warning of violence and fear, it's Andy Griffith.
DJ Martin's going to shoot you with that one bullet. What if he missed? How much violence was going to be in that, Rob?
Maybe they were concerned about the floor Barney kept shooting into.
The
I mean,
things you can see and watch and look on the internet and not get a warning for.
it's incredible.
There you go. The Andy Griffith show. So Judy to Denver. Is that good, Yancey? Are they going to be happy with that one?
I think they're happy with it. I think they're perfectly happy with it because they're trying to get together a young core wide receiver group that they haven't had since they had Eric Decker, Demarius Thomas, and the other Thomas at the tight end position. And they had Emmanuel Sanders at the time when they made the Super Bowl run. So they really need wide receivers to give Drew Lock, who I think they're going to roll with. I think they like him.
Oh, they're going to roll with him. I don't
Yeah.
know why they're going to roll with
Well,
him, but they're going to roll with
I
him.
think they're going to roll
Y'all
with
like
him.
him?
And
I don't like
Obviously,
him.
Will don't. No for Will.
The thing is
Tom got hellos
this
from New
is just
Zealand.
help. This is help. This is help for them.
Yeah.
Hellos from New Zealand.
What?
People saying hello from New Zealand on
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Hello.
Really?
Christopher Pedipus.
Well, hello.
If I got that right.
Hello, my friend.
I'm sorry if I did.
Christopher.
I thought one of y'all just told me somebody had an international.
That was Canada.
It was Canada, but this guy is from New Zealand.
That's a little bit
my
further
cousin.
away. Will.
That's a little bit farther
A little
away.
bit further away. It's
A
further.
little
than
farther
It's
north.
further than Cleveland.
Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Thank you for everybody for watching tonight. This is brought to you by whatsupshopper.com, our all new online store here in the local area. So let me tell you a little bit about it, folks. So it's kind of a combination of like a local business Craigslist / Amazon. We're trying to put together ways that folks can shop locally online and find, you're sitting at home, especially during times now. You can find some of the things and some of business for, around here and support local businesses. Come on here. We've got golf carts, four-wheelers, motorcycles,
I need me one of those
boats,
golf carts
lawnmowers, tractors,
and lawnmower.
houses for sale, pool chemicals,
One of them houses for sale be nice.
buildings for rent from Sheila's Sheds. How about Roundup Stores? Got dog houses. You looking for a new dog house?
I
out
need
there
a new
now.
dog house. Show enough.
Clothes, hunting, archery, and furniture out at Norris Merchandise. Roundup store, of course. We've got some furniture in here from some of our local furniture stores. Then we got plenty of cars on here, folks. Eric Johnson Auto Sale here in Cherryville. S&R Auto Sales, Richie and Susan and the gang. Oak Grove Auto Sales, the Renato Automall, Kia, and Honda stores. Then we've got a couple of others on here. Car Fair in Gastonia. Abernathy Chevrolet and Abernathy Chrysler over in Lincolnton. Like I said, Oak Grove and more. Williams Truck here in Cherryville. I want to thank all those. Then we've got some restaurants on here with some nice food deals. Ora Supermarket, get your meats out there at Ora in Shelby. Mitchum's Kitchen in Vale. They support our Saturday morning sports talk. They feed us nice and good in the mornings. Kings Mountain, go out to Kings Mountain, get your fish at Love's Fish Box, one of the most famous.
Got some good food over there in Love's Fish
One
Box.
of the
They
most
fill
famous
your
fish
whole plate
restaurants
up.
around. You come to Kings Mountain for a ball game, everybody says they're going to Love's. I promise you that is what I'm told every time they come to see me over there. Saki Express, Japanese food in Gastonia, and Belmont. One of the ladies there that owns it, I went to high school with here in Cherryville. Lisa, nice young lady. Very successful, great food over there, Saki Express. Hillbillies Barbecue and Steaks, of course, on Gastonia Law. They're opening up a new location here shortly. Also got some listings for local services. If you're looking for something other than merchandise, you need a plumber, insurance, things like that. Let me scroll through here so you can see some of our sponsors. Rocky Bennett Insurance in Cherryville, Okies Tire and Recap in Shelby, Carolina Care in Cherville, Hopper Heating and Air in Shelby? I think it is. Slater Street, Kings Mountain is Flooring America, Beard Insurance in Gastonia, Barrett Floor Covering in Kings Mountain, H&H Pest Control in Shelby, Basic Finance in Shelby, Bill Shuford Heating and Air in Shelby. They came by yesterday. They're going to fix our heating and air. They actually came by today. They got to fix it tomorrow. Where we busted all kinds of stuff up in here the other day, and they're going to come fix this up. First Federal Savings Bank in Lincoln. They're the scoreboard sponsor over there, as always, in Lincoln County Sports. Boyd Tire in South Carolina, York, and Clover. They got appliances, lawnmowers, and everything down there. Mr. Sparky Wise, Electric Control, Rusty Wise in the gang. Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby. Carolina Federal Credit Union here in Cherville, CarolinaFCU.org. S.C. Luandra and the gang. That's where I get my car loans from. Love Insurance Agency of Lincoln. As the pick is finally in for the Falcons, Wholesale Flooring of Gastonia. Dallas Express, buy one, get one free Mason vitamins right now. Grandview Campground and RV Parks. Tom, you want a social distance from someone? Head out to Grandview.
That looks like some good social distance.
They've got a big old field up there. You can see a beautiful view of the mountains here in North Carolina.
What'd you say the one place was in South Carolina? I've never heard of that one.
Boyd's Tire and Appliance, Gaffney and Clover.
Okay.
They've got lawnmowers, appliances, a little bit of everything.
I've seen that. Boyd's. Right.
Builders Checkpoint is in Gaffney, South Carolina, CarolinaAutoUtilities.com. That's just some of the things you can do online on the OneStopShopper.com. Come online and shop. We'll also post the Daily Swap Shop from Milton on there on his podcast form.
I was close.
What'd you have, Hunter? It was defensive back A.J. Terrell of Clemson.
I had cornerback Christian Fulton from LSU. I had A.J. Terrell going 31st to the 49ers. I had him going in the first round, but I had them taking a defensive back, so I'll take that as a win.
I think sometimes when you look at this best available, blah, 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 I think some organizations want to get their guy, who's a good fit for their staff, their organization, who's got, we think we can build the relationship.
Another hometown guy right there.
Right. There's more to it than just, Mel Kiper says this guy's the best available. I mean, there's
It's been that way all night.
Yeah.
It's been that way all night. Other than maybe the first 5-6 picks that were kind of scripted. Other than that, it's just kind of been whoever can get their guy.
You find the guy that you think you want for your organization, who's going to get along with your coaching staff, buy into what you're
I'll tell you
trying to
what,
do.
that wide receiver he was just guarding right there, Jamar Chase for LSU, that's going to be a top wide receiver coming out next year.
Yep.
And who's
Jason
going
Biederman.
to play quarterback for LSU?
Oh, we'll find some grand finale there to go play.
No, I think that's a generational team for LSU. All that talent they have.
First 15 team ever.
I mean, I don't know if they'll be able. How many of those guys are losing though?
A lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
I thought they
A
were
lot.
going to lose quite a
They're
bit.
losing a lot, and they're losing their offensive passing coordinator. Joe Brady's now the OC at
And they
at
lost
Panthers.
the
so.
one outside linebacker's good. The wide receiver, Brian.
Clevion, I don't even know how to say his first name, but Chason's very good for them. Their whole defensive, that's DBU. They produce defensive backs, so every defensive back you get out of LSU is going to be really sound. So now here's the big question. What is Jerry going to do in Dallas? Oh, Big D.
Jordan Love.
And you know what I bet's really cool? Jerry's probably using a legal pad like I am instead of using a computer.
Jerry. Teams
Oh,
out.
Jordan Love finna come off the board right now.
Dak would flip his lid. He'd have a party with 50 people there. Be like, forget this stay-at-home law. I am irate.
It's interesting what South Carolina's doing, though. They are opening back up this weekend, but they've already closed their schools for the rest of the year.
I'm surprised North Carolina hasn't done that yet.
I figure
They
it's
will.
coming
I think
tomorrow.
yeah, that's coming
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's sad. My daughter's missing out on her senior prom. She's gonna miss out on her.
Who did
walking
I
graduation.
have?
Mine too, Tom.
The
I understand
Cowboys.
exactly what you're talking about.
It's tough, man. It's just tough.
I got the Cowgirls drafting Grant Delpit, the safety out of LSU. Whether it happens, I don't know. But
They
I'm
did
trying to
lose a
fill
lot
in.
on defense,
They
but
lost-
they do.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went cornerback because they lost Byron Jones. But I thought they would put one next
Listen,
to Jeff Heath.
that's a big. A lot of people don't believe that's a big spot to fill, but losing Byron Jones is a big spot for them
That's
to
a
fill.
big spot.
And say, well, he only had 2 interceptions. It's because didn't nobody throw that way.
Yeah, I agree.
I tell you guys, running back to the Panthers right quick, that's the biggest move they made in this offseason was hiring Brady as a coach. Because you start looking around the league at those young minds that are changing the way offenses are run. He's going to be one of those guys. To me, when I watched all the moves the Panthers made, bringing him in as a coach is probably the best move they made this offseason.
Who, Joe Brady?
Yes.
He's learned from great minds. He got to pick Sean Payton's brain for a whole season when he was a part of the coaching assistants in St. Louis.
That's right.
Not St. Louis, New Orleans.
Yep. Of course, the Cowboys let the clock run down just to make us all mad.
Well, Kevin wasn't at his station, so they was wanting to
Let's
make
go.
sure.
Let's go. Wait on.
they
You know,
was
the
making
Cowboys are
sure
waiting on Kevin. They're
was
doing
getting on
everything
the
they
station,
can
and then
to pull him back into the
they-
fold.
Skip Bayless says can't pass on CD Lamb.
Can't. Hey, you know why he says that? He says that about every Oklahoma player there is. He said even Jalen Hurts
Yeah,
is
he-
going to have a great career.
He needs to pass. They need to pass on CD Lamb.
They'll pass on CeeDee Lamb. They don't need another wide receiver. They need a defensive back. To make me happy, just so I can say that I was right, take Grant Delpit.
Well, they just said that most of the defensive backs they wanted are gone now.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, there's still good ones. I thought, for sure that Christian Fulton would be gone. Grant Delpit is right there. I have been taking Delpit. So
I think they ought to go with Jordan Love. just
see.
to throw
Cowboys?
everything off. Yes.
we'll see. If they take CeeDee
Hey.
Lamb, though,
He goes Jordan Love, the
Hey, take Jordan Love.
internet will explode.
Just to,
Maybe just shut down. Just turn it off.
that's why Mike McCarthy looks like he does. He's heard that that's what that's what the old man's got playing. Let's take another quarterback.
Oh my
He's saying,
lord!
"Oh, shit, oh shit, oh shitters."
Mike
He's like,
McCarthy.
I know what he's about to do.
He's like, I can't believe I took this job. What was I thinking?
He's got a
I need this money.
he's got a
I was
desk
broke,
lamp.
was running out.
he had a desk lamp. I mean, how? Jeez.
Well, that'll be neat. If
He
Cowboys
can't
do
get
that.
He can't get good enough lighting in his house with all that money he's got.
What's going to be neat is next year when the Cowboys helmets look like that, the star on one side, Salvation Army on the other.
Oh.
That's going to be really cool. It's going to be neat because they have the players on the sideline ringing bells. That's Jerry Jones for you, man. That guy's always thinking.
Hey, you know what, Rob? The Steelers could sell their other side of their helmet.
That's true. It is available.
It's already wide open. The Browns got 2 sides.
That's a good point. We'll make a little money.
I love this quote on the internet. Jerry Jones will draft at home alone with no one to stop him. That's awesome. Let's see how stupid he is.
Johnny Manziel. He still likes Johnny. Draft him. Draft him, Jerry.
Draft him now. Draft him again.
You would never guess what city Jerry Jones was born in.
he was born in Arkansas.
Nope.
Right?
Born in Los Angeles,
Shelby.
California.
I don't know who said Shelby, but no.
Usually people, yeah.
Yeah, I'll boo
Usually
this
it's
one.
the other way. Like you were
Boo.
born in Arkansas and moved to Los Angeles.
CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys.
Damn
He's
you,
obsessed
Dallas.
with wide receivers.
thought
He
that-
always has
Dude,
been.
I'll sit here and I'll tell you.
He's
that's
always
a dumb pick.
He's
They
always
did-
been obsessed.
They
with
didn't
wide
need
receivers.
one.
That's
They,
what I'm saying.
they didn't need one. That's
Why?
that's typical Jerry.
They don't need one.
How about them
Almighty.
Cowboys?
He is obsessed with wide
Way to go,
receivers.
Jerry.
And
You
he's
lost
obsessed.
another Super Bowl before it even started.
Amazing.
Who should he have picked, Hunter?
He should have picked a defensive back. You lost Byron Jones, and I wanted him to pick that. I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but I would have picked the safety out of LSU to put next
Yep.
to Jeff Heath.
A lot of people have been saying the safety the whole time.
I mean, I don't understand.
Skip
Well,
Bayless
what do you
said
mean?
he
What do you-
read Skip's
what-
tweet, Hunter. He
has
said
a
you can't
wide
pass
receiver
on CeeDee
fetish.
Lamb.
Look.
He has a wide receiver
No.
fetish.
Jerry Jones has got a I need my name in headlights fetish, okay? He needs to make the
That
sex. He
too.
needs to make the
That
sexy
too.
pick.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to talk about Big D.
I just did.
Dallas.
Will, did you have in your Rob?
Yes.
On your yellow notes, what do you have under Jerry Jones fetishes?
I think it's a foot fetish.
Several.
On your
Several.
yellow sheet.
Several.
Wide receiver
That's a whole binder.
That's
guys.
a whole binder.
There's a whole binder on Jerry Jones fetishes.
I just didn't know we was going to get there tonight and if Rob prepared for that like the other dudes.
No, we better leave that one alone.
That's pretty good though. I
I
like
mean,
that.
he'll help them, but I mean, it's just
Got to have a quarterback to get it to him, right?
they got a $38
I
million
mean,
quarterback,
what you
man.
talking
Let
about?
them
They got a quarterback. They got the best quarterback they've had in a long time.
Kellen Moore, he's the offensive coordinator right now. He's not the he's not the backup quarterback.
What do you mean?
Kellen Moore,
Dax Prescott.
he's awful. There's a reason I'm wearing a brown jersey in here.
It's because you so solidified with a guy that was broken down, and you can't take the pain of
the
a guy
goat.
being replaced. So you don't
Goat.
like the replacement, so you just keep talking bad about it.
goat.
But the guy's been he's won as many games as your favorite guy.
Well, he has not. He's got a lot to do. He's got about 34 more wins to get to run. But yeah,
He's got
yeah.
as many playoffs win in less time. He's done it in less time.
Oh,
Be your
God.
guy. So I mean, I'm just really wanting to. I don't understand your theory behind hating this kid.
I didn't say I hate him. You said he wasn't.
You
any
don't
good.
have to say that you hate him.
I don't hate anybody, Will. I have no hate in my heart. Just because I don't think you're not any good does not mean I hate you.
I don't think that's true. I have a list of people that he hates. I'll share with you off the air.
Do I? I don't think I do.
I think I know that same list of people that he hates.
People he hates. And once you're on it, Will, you don't get off it. I'm just gonna
Takes
put
a
it there.
hey.
Once you're on this,
When
hate
you on
list,
that list,
you might
you're
as
on
well-
that list.
You might as well quit KTC. You're done. You're finished.
I can't think of y'all are silly. I'm trying to think.
What do you
Y'all
mean?
are
What do you mean?
silly. Y'all are just silly. Y'all are just silly. I don't hate Dak Prescott. I hate Jerry Jones for making the decision.
Oh, he just said he didn't hate anybody. Now he says he hates Jerry Jones.
No, I don't hate
All in the same
I
breath.
feel
I mean,
bad.
almost in the
I
exact
feel-
same breath.
I feel bad for Jerry.
You could say you hate Jerry Jones.
Because
It's fine.
he sold his soul to the devil in 1991. And Jerry still ain't figured out that, buddy, you've got your rings, and that's it. It's not like you get to keep winning.
Man,
Well, when he bought the team, Tagliabue guaranteed him Super Bowls, and he
Well.
got him, and he ain't been back. He's just crazy.
Well,
He's just
yeah.
nuts.
they still need to send Minnesota a fruit basket. every
Lamb
year.
is a refined route runner who knows how to get off press coverage, leverage his stems, and set up defensive backs. He has outstanding body control, strong hands that help him come down with contested catches. He excels after the catch. Lamb isn't the fastest receiver, but he's an instinctive open field runner with stop-start ability to make defenders miss and strength to break initial
They
contact.
essentially drafted a skinnier Amari Cooper.
Yep.
He ain't the fastest.
Exactly.
He's just a good route runner.
Ain't as fast.
He can catch too. He can really.
He can catch. He can move away from the ball, but he's not Amari Cooper.
I don't understand it. Well, I mean, that was the Cowboys, though. They made their headline.
Yeah, they're gonna make a headline every year, boys.
Wow. Wow.
Who we got up next? Dolphins again?
Yeah, Dolphins.
Second pick of the first round for the Dolphins. My mock draft, I had them picking Ruggs, the wide receiver, to give Tua a toy to play with. Now,
Offensive line.
Is the kid
I
from
don't know.
LSU still available? You
Jeffries is
Jefferson's
still available.
That's who. He's number one on the board, actually. Number 2 is McKinney, the safety from Alabama. 3, Georgia's running back Swift. 4, Chase on the defensive end. Jordan
They-
Love. Hey, Will, the closer we get to the Packers, buddy, the closer Jordan Love ends up.
Well, I'm
in
hoping
Green
they
Bay.
don't take Jordan Love. I hope they take Jalen Hurt.
Okay, I did hear you say that earlier. Jalen Hurts. Somebody said he was awful on here a minute ago. Who was I looking? Let me find it. I'm just messing.
It's okay.
You okay? Who they going here? Who's the Dolphins going here, guys?
They got to be going receiver now
I
that
thought-
they got the
I mean,
quarterback.
besides Devontae Parker, there's no weapons down there for Tua to throw to. I could see them getting one of the high-end receivers. I don't have Jordan Love going at all in my first round, which is wild, but I don't.
We had 2 quarterbacks, and it's been a while.
I don't.
I don't think it'll be another quarterback in the first round. I really
I don't
don't.
think so. I think a lot of teams have kind of blown the smoke away on Jordan Love. They kind of were like, maybe he'd be kind of a risk, like how everybody moved up to, or the Kansas City Chiefs moved up to take Patrick Mahomes, but that's a rare commodity. You know, very rarely does that happen. He just comes out and is a stud.
It's two really good quarterbacks left in the draft. It's Jalen Hurts, and
I think Jacob
Love.
Eason would be a really good quarterback depending on who drafts him.
I don't think he's
Not starting ready right
Right.
now,
no.
but Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, they got veterans they could sit him. I think that'd be perfect opportunities for him.
What about DeAndre?
I don't like him enough for him to be sitting at Green Bay. I would rather have a Jordan Love or a Jalen Hurts.
Well, he
sitting at
might be
Green-
available there at 30.
Yeah.
What about DeAndre Swift here for the Dolphins?
I like that pick too.
I think that
They
takes a
shipped
little.
King
I don't
Drake
think any
out of
running
town.
backs are going to come out in the first round.
So-
though.
Tom, this tweet's for you, buddy.
What's it say?
NFL draft is almost as bad as a game. A few seconds of action, then followed by a bunch of stops, endless commentary, and commercials. The only thing we're missing is concussions, bad calls, and a few replays.
I agree. It's dragging. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the end.
I don't think I'm going to make it to the
I'm
end.
not going to make it to the
We're
end.
not that far away, guys. Hold on. Help is on his way.
I think I'm good for about 2 or 3 more picks. And
Hey,
I'm
they
gonna have
could
to
they
get
could
home.
try
I was
and fill
about
the
to say,
need that.
I was about to
that
say, I'm
safety.
making through the Eagles pick, and I'm probably checking out.
Well, guys, we were talking before the show. We're going to stay at a 20, around 20. Eagles pick it at 21. We can set the bar there if you guys want to before we'll
That's
be,
good.
before we'll
I
be
think
here all
because
night.
the only one that doesn't get to see his pick in here, you know, unfortunately, is Mr. Boykins. with
We'll
the
be if they
30th
don't pick
pick.
no 30. If he leaves at 21, he'll be home eating chicken wings by the time.
Oh,
that
you'll
we-
get to see
I
it.
ate my
Oh,
chicken
you
wings
done
already.
ate them all.
I mean, you'll get to see it. Just we
I know
don't.
one
I
thing.
won't get
Will
to
did
tell
bring
you-
the good tater chips.
I won't get
now.
to tell him how bad his pick was
Will brought the good tater
because
chips.
I'm sorry, we won the draft. I didn't know if anybody. Knew
All right,
that.
just got a text from Trey Albright.
We didn't know, Hunter. You didn't tell us.
Trey Albright said Philly took their tight end when they took Dallas Goddard, so Dallas come back and took their wide receiver.
Yeah.
Austin Jackson, a
Austin,
tackle
put
to
some
Miami
line
to
help
protect
for him.
Tua.
They liking them big boys in the first round. I like to
Jackson.
see the OTs come out in the first round.
Damn, we
Hey,
missed that.
hey guys, I mean, this is like Jackson's not even on the list.
I mean, they must love him.
Let's see.
Like he's not even on best available list.
They must love him. Either that or he read the wrong card.
Rob,
He did not make the legal pad.
Not make a look about
I mean,
it.
I'm looking. I'm sitting here. Look, did you lose ears in your hair? Did you lose
I
sound?
lost it for a minute. No, I don't. I still have mine now.
It got a lot lower on my end.
Okay, what is he? He's a what? Offensive tackle,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and his name is Austin Jackson.
yeah.
The next offensive tackle I have taken is not even him, and it's to the Titans to replace Conklin, and that was Josh Jones.
There's
Josh
3
Jones.
tackles in the top 25, and he's not one of them. You know, with linemen, you know, a lot of times it is fit, and what you really like once you get to that point. I'm still looking for him. Not in the top 50.
Let's be honest. The Dolphins have been known to screw it up before. They may have done it again. They take an offensive tackle that nobody has ranked and a banged up quarterback. Good job, Dolphins.
Who'd they get?
Austin Jackson, a lineman, and I'm trying to find him in my list, and I'm
He's a little bit light. 322. He's a little bit light.
like I'm not.
Maybe they thought they was getting his grandfather. As we look up here.
Melvin. Yeah, Melvin's pretty good. Apparently, according to that. Jackson,
Was he even predicted first round?
No.
he's already off my sheet. I don't know where. Apparently, let me try to get in and see where they had him overall. Jackson, scrolling down here for the folks watching online. I'll pull it up, see what we got here. Jackson overall 48th,
Wow.
and they picked him at 18.
I told
Hey,
you.
you
Leave the
can't run from that though, buddy.
leave the West Coast alone.
That's mean right there.
Andy went to the West Coast for that pick. Rob,
I see. That's my.
I don't know. Marcus Allen was pretty good.
are you saying, Rob, you're not picking? He said, the Dolphins to win the East next year?
I will say, and what's crazy, the door could be open, and no, I'm not.
The door is open, but not for the Dolphins.
Not for the Dolphins.
The Dolphins are holding the door open for everybody.
Yeah,
else.
they're letting everybody else walk on by. They're saying, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
The 48. He's at his position. He's 8th ranked according to ESPN.
Wow.
With an 84 grade.
They must have had some information and they liked him a lot, and somebody was going to get him. That's
All
the
I
whole
know
thing.
is he wasn't.
He
on-
may be a little bit more
Wow.
nimble with to fit the offense they're gonna try to run because he's 322. And the rest of the guys have been 350 and 370. that we've
Exactly.
seen come up. So he may be a little bit more nimble of what they're looking to do, what they're trying to do with the offense.
Raiders with another pick here, guys.
He's either going to be nimble or get abused, one or the other.
And it
I
could
got
be
the
getting
Raiders.
abused. I
Do the
mean,
Raiders pick Jefferson?
No, I had the Raiders
I
taking
mean-
a cornerback here.
What if they picked them both?
if you let them slip in there and get both of them, that's a threat.
Oh no, 100%. 100%.
You wouldn't hate if they went that?
Ruggs and Justin Jefferson.
If they picked them, you wouldn't hate.
I'm not gonna hate it. It's just I mean I guess that means they're buying in on Derek Carr. They're just giving him
Well,
weapons.
they just signed Mariota,
yeah,
so
as
they've
a
got their
backup.
quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I have them.
Listen, I've
I
been
said they
reading.
would get a cornerback.
I've been
Diggs.
reading a lot of what their general manager right there is Mayock says about Mariota. He really likes Mariota, so I don't know if they even are sold on the pick is in.
They like Mariota, but I hope they got a good team doctor. You got a good team doctor and rehab staff.
I said they'd take Diggs here, but I don't think they will. Big slip
Rob,
up there, bud.
reading online, NASCAR is looking to open May 17th in Darlington.
Oh, that'd be a great way
South
to
Carolina
start
opened up.
Right,
a
South
new
Carolina's opened
NASCAR
up.
season.
Now, Rob, they're also talking.
Dang, they got their stadium up.
Yeah, they're talking about hosting. They're negotiating with Cooper about doing the 600 without fans the next weekend
No, that's
on regular scheduled weekend. Now, Damon Arnett.
You was right.
Ohio
There's your
State-
He was
cornerback,
right. That's
yeah.
your cornerback.
Was he on the board?
You get the text from Terry?
He
Yes,
said
I
something
saw the
ignorant.
text from Terry.
What did it say, huh?
The University of Southern
need
Air
to- you don't need to
KC
say-
or whatever.
you don't need to
I
say
got the text from Terry.
You don't need to say it
I'm
again.
not
That
giving
look-
that
look
the
on your
time
face,
of
Southern.
day.
That look on your face. said
I'm
it
not
all
giving
right
that
there.
the time of day.
What? What?
Yes,
what?
I got the text.
What was it about?
I was going
you
over
think
basically.
Terry's even watching us right now?
Probably
No,
not.
Not sorry, sucker.
he don't have Facebook. Ain't no way he's
He
watching.
don't
He
watch
got a
nothing unless
flip
he's on.
phone. Of course, he don't have Facebook.
Well, Arnett is overall ranked 58th, picked at number 19. 7th overall at corner. And so, Hunter, the Raiders, do they reach with both their picks, Ruggs and Arnett?
I don't think they reached with Ruggs.
Okay.
Maybe this one, a little bit. But
Go ahead and tell Terry to update his board.
I
Ohio State up
said-
3.
I mean, I had them taking Trevon Diggs, a cornerback.
That's who I was
out of
thinking.
Alabama. They went and got a quarterback out of Ohio State. So technically, I'm not wrong. I'm just wrong on who it is. So I'm gonna take that to the bank.
No,
and say,
technically
I
you're
think
wrong
they did-
because you had him coming
I
from
think-
getting the
I
kid
think
out of
they're addressing
Alabama, and they got the
needs.
kid from
I-
Ohio State. So technically you are wrong.
I'm surprised that 2 cornerbacks have gone before Trevon Diggs. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, I agree. I think Trevon Diggs is a really. I think he's kind of undervalued. Really, that's just what. At least that's what it's showing here to me. He was like the second or third best cornerback coming into the draft, and nobody's touched him. Nobody's even sniffed at him.
So this is a bit of a different topic. But what if you were an Oakland fan? Are you a Las Vegas fan now?
I doubt it.
You know?
I doubt it very
How could you
seriously.
take that team away from that
That's-
blue-collar town?
That's quite. That's
Out
Well-
one of the biggest travesties
and
ever.
put it in blitz and
Well,
green
that's
sports.
well, Tom. You know, you're a Browns fan. If they would have named them the Baltimore Browns, and you knew would have never got a team, would you have changed teams if they would have took the Browns? You see what I'm saying? Because that's kind of
They
the
took the
same
Browns.
same situation. If they, because the changing team names is totally different. This is, like you said, it's still the Raiders. So are the Raiders fans, or you, like you said, you're going to probably lose some definitely LA people, just regular fans. But what would you have done if they would have kept the Browns but been the Baltimore Browns?
It'd have been tough. It'd have been, because they talked about that because when they first moved, I remember people saying Baltimore Browns got a nice thing to it. But when the thing is, when Cleveland left, the record stayed in Cleveland.
Right.
Baltimore was
Right.
seen as the new franchise.
Right.
And the Browns basically took a hiatus of 3 years.
Part of y'all's deal, I think, was that you would get a team back. I think the NFL looked at that one as this is a personal thing. I wish, kind of like the NBA should have, and kind of did maybe with the Hornets and us kicking Shin out of town, him moving the whole damn team to New Orleans. That was just it's another weird situation. But yeah, just what would Hornets fans? I guarantee I don't know a single one that pulled for the Pelicans, and they
That's
went down
right.
there and they were Hornets for a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember them. I don't remember
Because we
anybody
was the
saying
Bobcats here.
right. I don't remember anybody saying, "Yeah, I'm still pulling for the Hornets in New Orleans." I don't know anybody that did.
They
pull
need
for
to
them.
change San Francisco to like the Bay Area 49ers. That way they can get both those towns. Because, it's just a bridge that separates two towns.
They can call them
course.
the Californian
California or
Niners,
something like that.
Cali Niners.
The Bay 49ers.
All right, who's on the clock? Jags, and then
the Eagles,
and then
and
the
then we're
Eagles
out.
to finish
Sir.
it up.
Sorry, Will.
Sorry.
That will.
Sorry.
Invite me to a party and don't stay till my team comes up.
That's kind of what the
what
Packers do though when they show
Hey,
up at
nah, tell
games. They-
sorry to the people who decided to have this on at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, why is this not at 6?
Because California.
F California.
That's another. Like I said, nothing from
California.
west of the Rockies.
You could say,
Nothing
you could
from
say-
west of the
You
Rockies.
could say F California all you want. I say
He's
40
he
million
is so
people.
serious about
40
this
million
west
people
of the
live there,
Rockies
Kevin. You
thing.
just don't say F California.
Right,
Well, look-
they
look-
can secede anytime they want.
Look
Tom.
how much. Look what
No.
it screws up for us in the East. Let's be honest.
By itself, California would be like the 6th or 7th largest economy in the world.
Rob, if California seceded, would you ever know?
I would not. I
you
would
would.
not pay a bit of attention to it at all.
It wouldn't affect my life one bit.
Facts are facts.
Oh goodness.
Look, man,
important.
California could break off with the next earthquake, and I wouldn't be upset about it.
It could drift off into the Pacific.
guess-
Ah,
Its
word.
own land.
What's
So much for the
what's
United
the
States
whole
of
problem with
America.
California, guys?
Hey, the other 49 can be united, Tom.
You'd kick others out too. You'd kick New York out.
We
half
didn't-
of Florida.
We didn't say we was going to kick them. We're going to ask them to leave.
I didn't even
There's
say
two
ask them
totally
to
different-
leave. I said they just fall off because of an earthquake.
Look,
Cal-
look,
and I'm
look.
fine.
We'll give them
California's gonna join
Washington.
Mexico, New York's gonna
and
join
Oregon.
Canada, and solve all
Do
your
what,
problems.
Rob?
We'll give them Washington and Oregon. That gives them a whole. They can have the whole West Coast there, just to be nice.
You guys
Yeah.
are some haters,
Right.
man.
And see, if I'm going out there anyway, Tom, I'm going to have to fly, right? A long way. So I might as well fly to Hawaii.
Has anybody in this room been to California?
No.
I've been to Utah.
If you go to California, you'd probably like it. I've been to California.
I've been to
Too
Texas.
too
My
many
sister liked San Diego, but
too many bad ideas have started in California and worked its way back across the country, and we end up with it. So I've got to not deal with them.
There's some haters in here, man. Hating on California.
I did think that's where we
I've also been to Oregon and Washington.
Listen,
all three very
honestly,
nice
we're
states.
probably equal.
Are you talking about the
haters.
I'm just saying,
CAT?
If anybody wants to name a state, we'll hate on that state too.
look,
Any
I'm
other
just
state.
talking about for television purposes. I mean,
That's
half of
exactly
half
right.
of the population lives on the East Coast, anyways. Why we got to cater to the lesser half and have it to where they
Actually.
can watch it at 5 o'clock?
Probably way more than half lives. in
They've got
Eastern
DVRs out
That's
there.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like,
You what, Rob?
put it on.
I
at
said they
6
got
o'clock
DVRs
here,
out there.
and they
Yeah.
can just deal with it.
Here's a compromise. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
Damn, we're still pushing.
7
man.
o'clock.
10 o'clock when it's done.
8
This?
o'clock's too late.
That's what I'm saying. 8 o'clock is too
Sunday
late.
night football starting at 8:30. I hate that.
I hate it.
Yeah.
They do that with every major sporting event too. NCAA tournament. They won't even have a West Coast team in it.
9:30.
9:30
Yeah,
start.
I know.
How about
But it'd be real
stupid?
cool if you did live in California. Hey, it's at 6:30, man. You can watch the game,
Oh,
get
I
in
bet
bed.
that's real nice. Yeah, I'm glad they.
You know
did
what
that.
else is cool?
Yeah.
When I went to Oregon and California, you get up at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. Guess what's on? Football's on.
There
already.
it is. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like it.
So who is this? The Jaguars?
The Jags pick is him.
I don't know if they go with any of the best available. Because if they do go with any of the best available, I'm going either with Chason or Murray that they have right there.
I just
They've-
now
they've
read-
shipped
I just-
off every defensive player they have. So
I just now read. Now Terry's sending more things.
don't
What's he
give
saying?
Terry any more ideas. Just let him do his thing.
Yeah.
It says Jerry Jones' draft room is on his super yacht.
Now that is a super flex. I don't even-
Hey,
What does he even mean?
I don't know. He was mentioning the schools that have had people drafted. He said UNC Chapel Hill, not shit. Like, how many people from state have been drafted today, Hunter?
Nobody.
Yeah, that is weird that he would bring that up.
Has nothing to do with anything.
But all I know this, Kevin.
Yes.
Michael Jordan was an average player.
That's
in
what he
college.
said.
What he said?
Even though he was player of the year, he was just an average
All
player.
right.
Will you
One
agree?
more pick.
No, we had this discussion yesterday. No. Somebody even brought up the lines of Christian Laettner being a better college player than Michael Jordan.
He was.
No.
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 Those back-to-back rings say otherwise.
No.
Yeah, he
on a
was.
better
No.
I'm not saying he's a better NBA player.
Jordan left early. That's the only reason why he didn't have back-to-back rings.
Uh-huh.
What Robbie is saying is that Jordan would have beat. I mean,
No, he
Laettner
wouldn't-
would have handled Patrick Ewing,
Well, he
and
would.
then he would have handled
he would not have-
Olajuwon.
He didn't have back-to-back rings anyway because State messed that up for him anyway. Because the next year is the year that State won. Remember? Oh, you ain't old enough to remember.
Who ain't old enough?
You.
I went to school with you, bro.
No, but you were 3
You
years
and
older
Jake,
than me.
you are 2 years apart. Y'all 2
I
years
thought I was
older than
3
me.
years older than
No.
you.
I went to school with you, bro.
It was 3 years.
He had to throw the bro in there.
It was 3 years.
Okay, 3 years.
I think it was
3 years.
I think it was a good pick.
And-
But this means that Yannick guy or Yannick, however you say his name, he's out
Ngakoue.
of town. He's out of town.
I want him wearing Philly green. I want him wearing Philly green so bad.
You gonna trade him that
All right, Rob, what we
21st
doing?
pick for him?
If they stay here, I think it's wide
The
receiver. It's
exciting
Justin Jefferson.
conclusion.
Justin Jefferson.
Oh,
right?
Lord.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson.
I
want him off the board, and I do not want him playing for the Eagles because I'm going to have to root against him eventually, but he's a great kid. I like him. So,
Justin Jefferson.
I like the pick.
If they go with him, yeah, 100%. That's who I have. I had going 21st. The Eagles, Justin Jefferson. So we'll see if it happens. I get to go home when this is all said and done and do a checklist to see how many I was
Tom,
right.
here's Ohio State's stat to tell Terry to put it in his pipe and smoke it with. And I've said for years and weeks and months, however you want to think, that you guys do good on defense. This is the 7th time in the common draft that 3 players from the same defense went in the top 20. Of those 7 times, Ohio State's done it 3.
That's right. Factory, baby. It's a fact. You know what I do keep forgetting, Kevin, and
Yes, sir.
bugging me is the 1979 Sun Drop Dale Earnhardt Rookie of the Year ball. I keep forgetting.
Okay. Well, how
You
about
gotta
this?
send me a note.
I thought you were just going to say you keep forgetting Sundrop. I was like,
No.
yeah,
Hey,
bring some for all of us.
I look at it, and it's like I need to bring it to the station.
So next year's draft is in Cleveland.
They need to put it there every year.
Dun dun dun.
It needs to be there every year.
Dun
Nah.
dun dun.
Just do it in Canton.
It's a great American city.
Just do it in Canton and
Hey.
make more sense.
You know what?
Let's
It's a
take the
good point.
pink Cadillac to Cleveland. That is a good question. Why is it not just in Canton?
That's what I'm saying. Why do you not do it at the Hall of Fame?
Um,
Just Canton.
We
They got a
go-
football field to put.
We
the
can go to
fans.
Cleveland. There's a great hotel.
Where do you
right
think
there.
they'll have it in Cleveland?
We can go overlook
Is there,
Lake
is there
Erie.
like a symphony or ballroom type thing?
There's a
anywhere?
convention center they have. I don't know if they'd have it there.
Yeah.
Just do it at Quicken Loans Arena.
They could do it there. Everything's right down there.
So he's on the
together.
phone.
Rob.
Rob is on the phone.
I like it.
He's on the phone.
I
Rob.
like it.
Rob.
Doug Peterson was
Big
grinning from
man.
ear to ear, baby.
Best available right now, Rob. You want to know who is the best available?
Justin Jefferson is the best available
He
right
actually
now.
is. He's ranked number 14 overall. A team 2 minutes ago just picked the 58th overall ranked cornerback.
That's if you need it. That's what you get.
McKinney's safety is 2 on the board. Swift 3. The running back, Love 4, Patrick Queen, the inside linebacker 5. Then Ezra Cleveland, tackle. Ayuk from Arizona, wide receiver. Blacklock from TCU. Murray from Oklahoma, inside linebacker, and then some running backs. Rob, if it's not him, anyone else? Anything that intrigues you?
No, I don't even want to talk about anybody else. There's nobody else to be discussed at this pick. If they do not pick him, they've screwed up. Period.
Are you jumping ship?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No. I've learned to boo with the best of them. I'll continue to be an Eagles fan.
Oh man, just give the pick already.
Can you believe in 2003, Doug Peterson was the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns?
That's
Well,
crazy.
folks, I want to thank everybody that's been watching tonight and listening. We'll put this up on the Shock Joxx podcast. You can download and listen to it anytime. Been a great, fun broadcast. Will, I want to thank you for coming in, and I'm sorry we didn't get to your Packers pick. Hey, your team is so good, we have no time.
That's
We
right.
have no time.
To see who they're picking.
Yeah, we've been here for what?
2.5 hours. That's why we were guessing that it would be over. It was supposed to be over by 10:30, and it's not obviously going to be over by 10:30. It's going to be closer to 11:30 probably.
We're approaching 3 hours.
Right. It's probably
Yeah.
closer to.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be closer to 11:30 before they get done. So.
because they want to drag this out, act like
All right,
nobody's still
Rob.
waiting.
Here's your
It
chance.
is, baby.
Boo.
It is, baby.
You're supposed to boo him, Rob. You're an Eagles fan.
I just got to get my pick, though.
No, never.
Okay, so what is it, dude?
He has to thank everybody.
God almighty.
We know who it is.
Are you
What?
kidding me? Guy because of his speed, and I was scared to death
And they
they were
did.
going to screw that up, and they did.
jumped over Justin Jefferson.
Unbelievable.
Let him be there at 30. I promise you, let him be there at 30.
He be the biggest Randall Cobb replacement
You
you've ever
got
had.
you, bro.
You're right.
Let him be there at 30. I can promise you what's going to happen
He
right
won't
there
be
at
that
30.
long now. Wow.
Wow.
Should have left that alone. They fell in love
That's
with
the
him.
one that posted his 40 time running on that like high school field, right? And it was like a 4.2 something.
Uh-huh.
All right, Rob. Here's your scouting report. Small wide receiver with short arms. That's the first 5 words.
Yep. Yep. You got it.
A good top end speed. He's quick, make defenders miss, and has contact balance to break tackles after the catch. He lacks the frame to regularly win 50-50 balls,
The thing they thought was this is Deshaun Jackson's replacement.
but he
That's
has
exactly what I
he
was
has
saying.
deep speed to threaten vertically.
I would-
Overall ranked 53rd,
Yep.
82 grade.
I'm just going to say this
Position
right now.
9.
I'm going to say this right now. You drafted Darren Sproles as a wide receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
drafted
Yeah,
Darren Sproles as a wide
Exactly
pretty
what
much.
they did. Unbelievable.
All right, guys. Want to thank you all. What's that chocolate? Do what? What he said?
Just end on that
Just
bombshell.
a bombshell. We gonna get out of here now. Just shut
Yeah,
down
we
shop.
all getting out of
Close
here
it
now.
up.
We got to get home in time to see the Wills Packers pick Jefferson now and
man.
watch
I got like a
Rob lose
35,
his
40
mind.
minute drive, and I bet you I'll
Unbelievable.
still make it back in time to see that pick.
Well,
They're going to take forever.
Hunter, want to thank you. We'll see you Saturday morning.
Yes.
Mitchum's Kitchen. We'll be
Yes.
enjoying some breakfast.
Thank
Will,
y'all for inviting me out.
Will the
Hey,
Thrust.
y'all
Good to see you
catch me
again.
on Wednesday
Wednesday
at
with,
5:00 on the Best in Sports.
on WLON. And we're going to be getting you guys hooked up. You guys are going to be live again coming up soon on Facebook and everything again. I think you guys have been trying to do a little bit here and there. WLON, you can listen to them on the radio. Also online, all of our radio stations you can listen to live online 24/7. So you can catch Will and them on that online. Go to WLON page on KTC. Tom Sinafani, you can say goodbye to everybody. Hello to everybody.
Appreciate
Cleveland.
you having me. I appreciate you feeding me.
Yes, sir.
If you feed us, we will come.
If you feed us, we will
Rob,
come.
you're ready to
True
run out
story.
of here and start a party.
At this
It's gotten
point,
a lot quieter in that corner.
I'm ready for high school sports. Let's get high school sports back up and going.
He's ready for high school sports. All right, guys, thanks for watching the Shock Joxx. You've been watching and listening to KTCBroadcasting.com. We've got to do some cleaning up, and we'll get out of here. See you guys later on KTCBroadcasting.com.